Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, and welcome to Ashtar Command Night. This is Ashtar Command Night. For everybody who's new here, I am CmdrAleon. Just a little bit of background about me. I'm also a contactee. I'm a starseed, which means that I came here off planet when I was a kid in the 60s. And I came from off planet from the Ashtar Command, to be more exact. I do talk about being from Mars originally, a planet of 10 to 15 million inhabitants that are human, just like us. But as a contactee, I am a Christed conscious space being in my consciousness, as well as my human consciousness, which I have. But I am also a space consciousness, which is a space being consciousness. Yes, Paris, 10 to 15 million inhabitants on Mars. They are men and women, children, and Mars is regenerating as a planet and has been regenerating as a planet. That's why when you see pictures of Mars, the planet atmosphere looks blue. Why? Because there's oxygen. The oxygen is slightly different than on Earth, but there is oxygen on Mars with 10 to 15 million inhabitants. If you're new to the show, Sunday through Friday, we do a regular encounter show where we cover everything. Tonight, on Saturdays, good evening, Vicky and everybody, we are operating in space consciousness, and we are completely Ashtar Command consciousness tonight for the show. So when we talk about things, I might sometimes, well, not might, I will get into different levels of understanding. We will, hey, Green Time Machine, good to see you, sister. Green Time Machine's got some phenomenal connections with the higher frequencies of light with her spaceship videos. And so, hey, man, UFO, good to see you, brother. Thank you for the roses. We appreciate you. Naturis, welcome, Naturis, good to see you. Simple Man, 34. So all the new people coming in, I was funny. I was at a crystal shop today, and, we're in getting seeds for growing stuff. I micro farm. I have a light garden, 2 15 by 30 spots together. I grow organic heirloom watermelons. So I'm just getting ready to seed start in the next week or two in the house. But anyway, we see this thing says Blackbird, and I said, oh, this is weird. So we stop in there, and they have all kinds of stuff, including a section for crystals, which I was tuned into. And I met these three nice women. Kit Kat, good to see you. So I started, this other woman of the three is talking about helping the other one about crystals and what they do. And then, I'm sitting there saying, oh, I'm not really sitting. I'm looking at the crystals. I said, oh, by the way, that's great. You're getting these crystals. I didn't know who they were. But knowing who I am, I was working in a different state of consciousness when that happened. And so I said, oh, by the way, this is great. I started having a little interaction with them. And so I do a show on Saturday night called Ashtar Command Talk. So I explained to them about the space people and all that for a minute or two. Then I let them, go back. So I think I shocked the bigger one. And as the story goes, I guess there was somebody there that had passed on that was attached to this woman. And I ended up, when we got into our car, my wife said, oh, the person that was there is outside the car. I said, oh, I'll send them across the galactic portal so they can leave the Earth. So I ended up, we're in the car, and they're outside on the passenger side. And as soon as she said that, I said, let me do something. I said, I will help them cross over. And that's the first time I ever did that. In terms, not the first time, but I actually, my wife is very, very conscious, and she said, oh, they just crossed over. So within a couple of minutes, who knows how long this person was attached to this place or the house or whatever, they crossed over. And I felt really good about it because they were now free. They were so free. That was the most beautiful thing when we left the crystal shop. And but I think the three women were kind of like I think the two of them were like asking questions and getting their TikTok app out to get my thing. So that was pretty amazing, you know. And that happened this afternoon. And this place is right down in Old Wethersfield, Connecticut, where the seed place is. They have like a marketplace and they sell the seeds. And got the heirloom seeds. Oh, so at this place it says crystals on the sign. So I said, if it says crystals, we have to stop. You know, the energies were different rooms, different things, but I'm very well protected. But the crystal area was, you know, very cool from, you know, what I was looking at. And so we actually crossed over a person this afternoon that was stuck or attached or something, and they were so happy to leave the planet. It was pretty cool. You know, I mean, I just like within minutes, I helped them cross over. We opened the galactic portal of light, and then we closed it up after they crossed over. And I felt really good about that. I've never been in a situation that, in that case, that is really the first. No, is that? Yeah, that might be. I might have done it before, but I don't remember. You know, but it was really beautiful. Now that shop is free of that. And also, when I went to the shop, my Ashtar command energies were working big time. I was clearing out all the energy in that very old house. It's well, you know, preserved. It's a very old colonial town. And each room I went into, I guess I was clearing all the energies in there. And, you know, hey, Christina, good to see you. So I wanted to share that because I thought that was something really beautiful that I hadn't expected to do. But there always is a reason why you go into a store or a place. And this is a crystal shop with other things and so forth. And we just cleared out all the energy in there. And these women now, if they're watching tonight, they'll get to see me live. So it's very cool, you know. Welcome to the show. Tonight I'm going to be operating in my Ashtar command and commandership. And I'm going to be operating in space consciousness, which you'll know automatically right away that the lighting here, there's a purpose for the lighting. And I just want to get everybody into the groove. Guide who answers, thank you. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to give of yourself when you have the knowledge of the ability and also the protection, you know. And that's exactly what we did. No, actually, I feel really good. You know, definitely. I went out for a few hours earlier tonight. You know, I was kind of taken out for a while, but I'm feeling great. I'm not tired. I'm not tired at all. Matter of fact, I'm rejuvenated from going out. I was laying sitting on a chair in the other room, and earlier in the evening, I was just like so relaxed. I went out. So we're good. Hey, Canada, good to see you. Troy, Hamilton, Linda, everybody coming in here, welcome. Cinnamon, Vicky. So for those that are new to the show, welcome. I hope those young ladies join our show on TikTok tonight and watch it. Oh yeah, we definitely are vibrational. Hey, Kabashi, good to see you. And you know, we'll definitely. I've talked to April a couple days ago about tonight, and she's got so much going on. You know, if she can get on and things work out, she might be on later. So I just want you to know that there's nothing set in stone. But oh, thank you. Thank you, Half Pint. Yeah, I feel very refreshed. Sometimes I go off planet a couple hours before the show, and hey, Golden Bear, good to see you. I feel extremely refreshed, and it's a Saturday night, so yeah, it feels really good. And our numbers will go up. It's at 186 now. Please share and like an FYP. So if you're new to our programming here, Saturday nights we are involved in Ashtar Command Talk. And I'm going to talk in that level of understanding. I might have, Sandra. I haven't looked at my email. Whatever day you sent it, I will be going through my email. I just haven't gone through it recently. I have to do that again. But we will. We'll take a look at the picture. Hello, Star. Welcome, everybody. Terry Venus. Kit Kat, good to see you, sister. Kit Kat is one of our 5 on the ground crew that will be going with me, Chesno, and also... we'll be going Johnny of the Third Kind with April at some point. We're going to be all on the same spaceship. April, my friend April, she has been on the Ashtar command ships and taken to the inner Earth. She's been taken to the space cities in the oceans. She is really doing some fantastic work and reporting back to the ground crew, which is a lot of people. So on tonight, when she can come on, we will have her on if she does make it on here at some point. We will have her on, and that's why we don't give her a definitive, because she's either taken off planet or other stuff is happening on the regional area where she lives on Earth-based regular people things. And so, yeah, but we definitely will be talking to you about everything going on here. And I never remember much, but I am a telepathic communicator. The most important thing for me is to be interactive with people on Earth and to help people understand about contact. There's a lot of people out there that kind of understand whatever social medium they're using, YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever other apps are out there. There are different groupings of people that are consciously awakened and are talking about these things, which is good. The more people that talk about it, I think is the better. It's not exclusive to one person, If it was, that'd be pretty egotistical. But it's for everybody to wake up and understand things. Thank you, Peggy. This is the actual background that we have here. And yeah, we all our crystals are set up. We're not done. We have a little bit of work in the front to do. And then we have the place is going to look really beautiful once we're finished. But everything in the back of me is set up for higher frequencies. So all my crystals are set up in a very specific way, and they're all amped up to a high frequency. You're going to probably feel the energy of my crystals are always high frequency in this room. Excuse me. So it's good to have you all with us. T, welcome T. Zenbrina, hey Zenbrina. Esmeralda, Mish Mish, hey Mish Mish. Tom Thunder, everybody, Vicky. Geo Wilkie, I think it is. Callie, welcome Callie. Greetings, Casey666. I'm going to do that. I will show some crystals tonight. I'm going to show you, matter of fact, I have some very high frequency crystals here. I'm going to show one of them. Here's one of them. I'm going to show you a different one, but this is, we'll show some of them through the night, but I'll just show you this in real time. This I got years ago at a crystal show, but I've amped it up. And you can see this one right here. Yeah, my crystals are very amped up, every one of them. Let's see if I can just stop doing that. So I'll show you this crystal here. And this is just the beginning. Hey, Amster, good to see you. This is one of them here. And these are all amped up, all these crystals. I use these for Ashtar command work. I bring in the Ashtar command energies. And you think this is beautiful. So we will show you some of the crystals. Let me see here. And here's another crystal. You think that's crazy. This crystal is one of my crystals. I have a lot of amped up crystals. Check this out. All these crystals are devices. Every crystal I have in the last 20 years is a device. It's not just a crystal. The command guided me to each one of these crystals in the last 20 years. Every one of these crystals. Whenever I go, wherever I went to the East Coast Gem Mineral Show, I was told to go to this person or that person, and I listened very carefully to the messages the command gives me, and they tell Commander, this is the crystal we want you to buy or take or get. Every crystal you see here is highly, highly activated. I can affect everything in this room with this crystal. I'll give you an example. Yeah, the crystals need to be recharged. What I do is, all my crystals, every once in a while, I clear them with water. And when I clear them with water, I will put them outside, to regenerate. And then I bring them back in. Bazelle, yes, we're going to get into some of that. We're going to get into a lot of things. So you can feel the energy if you're allowing yourself. I'm going to do this here just as to show you that this space crystal, I call these space crystals. you're going to feel some energy here. And if you don't feel some energy, then you're in. It's not your fault. You're just blocked off from feeling anything. See anything? You mean anybody, Tara, from this area? I'm sure there are people. I mean, there are people. I'm sure I know this person at our crystal shop here in our community, in our town, and she's very tuned in. She's very tuned in. So I'm going to do something here to show you how this energy works as an Ashtar commander. Okay? And I want you to close your eyes, and we're going to let you all feel it. You have to just relax, everybody. And not everybody is relaxed. Some people are thinking so much they can't relax. I know this to be true. But if you relax, you'll feel the energies. Did I say fairies in the crystal? Oh, in the crystals. Some people say you can see things in this crystal. You can see things in this crystal. I can't really feel it. No, I can really feel it. Oh, okay. Oh, Lorna. Okay. So I just go like this. I'm going to bring the crystal closer so you can see things. You might see things in the crystal. Let's see here. Can you see anything? In some of the crystals, you can see different things. You can see different things, right? You can see different things, everybody. Yeah, you can see faces in this one, huh? Look how beautiful it is. I got you, Laura, no problem. And this way you can see other things. You see? I'm going to show you some other things in a minute here. Yeah, you can see landscape. You can see everything in the crystal. I'm going to show you some more crystals here. Every crystal is different. And this is Ashtar Commandite. And part of the wisdom is seeing everything that's different. Here's another one. This is a Lemurian starseed crystal. I have a lot of big Lemurian starseed crystals. These crystals came to Earth from Lemuria, believe it or not. Lemuria is a civilization on the Pacific Ocean, and the Lemurians set up a civilization here on Earth a long time ago. Let's do it this sideways here. You can see some stuff. You can see the energy. Okay, here you go. Here we go. Yeah, that's true, Tammy. Okay. And the first crystal was also a Lemurian crystal. That Lemurian crystal was really big. Lemurian crystals can be very, very big. And I have really big crystals. Every one of these crystals and I'm going to get another one here. We'll get into some information in a minute. And this is another crystal here. You're watching Ashtar Command Night Q&A. This is another one. And this is also a Lemurian crystal. And here you can see different things in it. And if you look in this crystal here, you can see, yeah, hey herbalist, welcome. Okay. Yeah, I can see the face too. I see a human face in the crystal. All my crystals have information. They hold information. All the big crystals hold information. I'm going to show you one more crystal here. This crystal is amazing. This crystal right here. This is a big crystal. This is a real powerful crystal in the room here. And on Ashtar Command Night, we do this. We will share crystal information. It's really, really beautiful. There's a lot of high frequency energy in this crystal. I also have selenite. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of selenite that I use for different frequency use. I have slabs of selenite that I use all natural, but this has got a lot of energy in it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you about the lighting, Half Pint. All right, so this is one of our big crystals here. And I got bigger crystals, but I'm going to stop with the crystals for now. Okay. And that's a little bit of what you see when this is completely finished here. I'll show you the rest of the room. And this is like an art space, Ashtar Command Central from my broadcasts. Len, good to see you, everybody. Welcome to the show. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And if you are learning about who the Ashtar Command is, it's a lot of things. If you're trying to still sense a lot of parts of what the Ashtar Command is, first let me just say that the Ashtar Command exists. It's real. It's billions of years old. They've been around for billions of years, not millions or 1,000, billions. From where I come from, on a space consciousness, and I've never asked the question to my space family, how old am I on the spaceship? If I was in my physical form and not in stasis right now, my body's now asleep, but if I was physically awake, how old is my physical body? I would ask them right now if I could. But that's going to be one of my questions, is how old is my physical space body? My space body has a beard. I'm way taller than I am here. And also, I have a lot more abilities. I mean, I have abilities here that I've been gifted with, but I have way more abilities in my natural human form, which is in my physical body off planet, which is now in another spaceship, being protected with other physical bodies that are here on Earth. So we have our physical bodies of space bodies that are on another ship, well protected, and then we have our human existence here, being born on Earth biologically, with our Earth body, and we now have the Earth experience. So many of you are having. Oh, thank you, Hefpine. Yes. Many of you have your Earth body in different parts of the world, you're men and women or whatever, you're having an Earth experience. In remembering who you are, eventually you will remember and you get to understand that you have a space body. What's a space body? Does anybody know what a space body is? This is a little bit of a quiz on Ashtar Command Talk tonight. How many people know what a space body is? Hey, Tara and everybody. Anybody? And welcome to the show. Jared, welcome. It's not an astral body. It's actually a physical body. Astral is when you go out of body. A space body is a body that's physical. So my space body, and everyone who has a space body that's here in consciousness from off-planet, what they call starseed, you have a physical body bigger than the body here that's in stasis. So stasis is like being in a protective state. There is certain structure for the bodies that the bodies go into a beautiful spot on a physical, not like a bed, almost like a bed, but the body is there, but the consciousness is here on earth. The consciousness is here living in here or here, and you're having that human experience through your consciousness. Body in stasis, yes. The body, hey, CCSUZ, the body is physically alive and well and protected until you finish your mission here. Then you go back to your space body in stasis, and then you wake up with full consciousness. And full consciousness means that you remember everything about who you are, where you came from, and then you also reconnect with your space family, because everybody here has what we call a space family. Almost like an avatar, yeah. Yeah, avatar is a good way of putting it. So you go from your human experience, and then you wake up your space body, which Avatar is a good example, where he had come back into the space, his body as an avatar, what that looked like, and woke up. When he went into his human body, his avatar body was totally not active. Good example. So that is really important to understand. We all have, hey Calico, we all have a space body. So I'm going to bring up people who might have questions, and I'm going to bring up, if they can come up, Unimatch, Umatech 0, if you can come up, but I'll answer your question if you can't come up. Everybody has a space body, and usually it's in one ship. There's one massive ship that holds all the space bodies. There might be more than one, but there is at least one major spaceship where, as you're living on Earth in this experience, your consciousness is here, but your body is breathing, living, but you're not in your body. You're physically in a human body. You're what you call a starseed. So your starseedness has come into this form. No matter what decade you were born, you come in here into your human existence. But as you fulfill your human existence, you also will have the choice to go back to your space body. That's going to be a choice that every individual will be able to make. All right. So you have your space body and your human body, which you're living here. So your consciousness, your brain activity, your consciousness is human consciousness. But when you wake up, you will be able to wake up and understand you have space consciousness. I call it cosmic Christed consciousness, but it's space consciousness. Hey, Tommy Taylor, good to see you, brother. And then should you have any questions, you wish to come up and ask questions about the Ashtar Command tonight, please do. You have to be over 18. No foul language, no smoking on the show, no drunks, no drinking, no paranormal discussion, no religion, no politics. Lavola, yes. So Lavola, we'll bring you up and we can talk about that for a minute if you'd like to come up for just a moment or two, or you don't have to. So Commander, is this 2D? Oh, she's coming up. Good, okay. Hey, Lavola. Good evening. How are you?
Hi, Commander. Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can I bring you on camera?
Oh, no, I'm in that situation of just laying on the couch and
The couch situation. I gotcha.
yeah.
That could be something. So you have a good question. Is there a 2D and a 1D? Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great question. So like when you think of, when you're a baby, you're not in school yet on Earth, right? You're just a baby. Your mom and dad are giving you the milk bottle and everything. So look at the analogy of that, and then when you get to first grade, you start getting to learn how to draw things and maybe do pictures and crayons and all that. So as you go to each grade, you become more, not well on Earth it would be, I'd say, more programmed, but you become more enlightened to your 3D world, right? Because you're in the first grade and you're going into nursery school, all these little things. So there is different Ds. There's this 1D, 2D, 3D. The Ds don't stop; they continue forever. People think, oh, when we get to the fifth D, that we're at the highest level of D. So the 5D is not the highest level of D. There's no limitation of D that goes up to very, very high levels. So we're going into, for our planet, we're going to be going into where our space consciousness is. And that's why we're able to have contact individually with people that are from other planets that are positive now, because we're now at that same frequency. But not everybody's awake yet. Even though the planet's at that frequency, not every human being on this planet is. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I've been trying to really wrap my brain around that because I feel like right now, you and I and everybody here, we're all communicating
Yeah.
to me in the 3D.
We're
So if we're in that,
communicating
huh?
technically we're communicating on technical equipment with phones in the
Yeah,
3D communication sector, but on a conscious level we're not. We're energetically beyond the phone. You see what I mean? So the phone is a
yeah.
3D created phone, but our consciousness is not 3D anymore.
So we're like
The
kind of
phone,
going back and forth. So, um, is it such a thing, or am I just thinking crazy? I don't know. So if we fully move into a 5D consciousness, I'm imagining that there's already humans living in that full, like even physically living in it.
yes,
So
absolutely
when,
right. There are.
can we, maybe we can't see them physically because we're not totally in that consciousness.
Well,
Um,
we are not totally well, with billions of people, if the whole planet was drastically awakened right now in the 5D consciousness,
yeah.
you there are people, again, there are probably millions and millions of people on the planet, not billions but millions, that actually are having experiences that we don't know about, where, like I say, they're having contact with individual space people that are beautiful people that are visiting them. We don't because we're only here, we're a small minute part of the whole world on this broadcast, but just think of how many people out there might not have a TikTok or a cell phone that are being visited by their space family. A lot of people are.
Yeah.
We just don't see it. You know?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's interesting.
yeah, I mean, I've just kind of gotten into all that 3D thinking. So I'm wondering,
Yeah.
but we're basically living in the 3D world and all the things that are happening to us. Is there another part of our humanity, not so much like children and anything, that are living in a 2D world? Or is
Uh,
do you see, and
we've graduated from all those lower D
yes,
worlds. As a matter of
yes,
fact, we're not even living in a 3D world. We are seeing the events. If you watch the 3D TV set and the news, you're seeing all this stuff going on that's
yeah,
related to keeping people confused. The main thing to do is spend time less watching your TV set and spend more time meditating and focusing on cosmic consciousness. Because if you watch a TV set, and I know there are people here that do, it's just something a human being does, and you watch the news, you're going to think, oh, we're falling apart. We're not. We're actually elevating to a higher frequency. And that's why you're seeing all these different things happen. When I get very specific in my space consciousness tonight, I can tell you, I don't know who they are. They're all over the world. People are having physical contact for the first time. Maybe they've had contact for the last year or two. There are people that are having contact with their space family. They're communicating. They're coming, just like with my friend April in Vermont. She's been on off planet hundreds of times. I don't even keep track anymore. I used to. I don't. So we are shifting. If you allow yourself to throw out the 3D questions from your brain and focus on the higher consciousness of who you are, you'll see things a little bit differently. It won't be so kind of confusing.
okay. Well, thank
You,
you, and
you see what I mean? I mean,
I do, and I just
it's a
wanted to
shift.
hear you say it. I wanted to
Yeah,
hear it, and
yeah,
yeah, okay,
yeah.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. I love the show, Commander. Thank you.
Thank you, Lavala.
I'll go
We
down now. I'm
appreciate
still
you.
listening.
I
Okay.
don't know. I didn't bring this other person up, but I guess it's supposed to be here.
Oh,
Chronic Michelle, how are
I,
you?
I don't know. I saw that and I was
I,
like, I was gonna ask if you meant to. I didn't. I just thought, oh, maybe he. I don't know.
you know what? I'm telling you, folks, weird things on this show happen. I didn't touch any buttons. She just
That's
popped up on the
interesting.
screen. I'm telling you. So there must be a question you have. So let's go for it. What
That's
is the question?
no, I don't have a question. The only thing is, I have a comment. Same thing I was thinking,
Okay.
because right when you were saying, right, I was gonna type it, but then I got the invite. So I was just gonna say, I've been, when you were talking about like tapping into uh, Star Family
Yeah,
just
space
now.
consciousness. Yeah.
Well, what's been happening with me recently is it's just a feeling that I'm getting, and like I'm getting like an image and like a feeling, but I'm not getting like I'm not having communication, but I think it's just like the feeling. And I think you were saying that too, that I've been getting that all week.
Yeah, the
So
feeling. And so there's a reason why you were actually popped up here without me doing anything. See? There's a real reason. So let's explore that a little bit. So the feeling is really important. I've always stated to people who are watching around the world that on Astro Command Night, especially, and in general, what we think is unimportant. What we feel is more important, you see? So what's the difference between feeling and thinking? Well, thinking, the brain does a lot of thinking. That can mess things up. But when we feel what's happening in the universe, when we feel the energy that's coming to Earth, that is more important, because then you're tapping into that higher frequency of consciousness. So when you feel it, Michelle, that's good, because what you're doing is always go with the feeling, not so much what you think, what you feel,
right,
you know?
right.
And
So like if
yeah.
people like might think like, oh, well, I have some kind of communication. Maybe it's just like just the feeling. So I
Hmm.
probably having communication in like their dreams or something and don't remember.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, you do know. It's really the feelings. And,
Yeah.
tonight is a good night because we'll be amping up everything. We already are amped up here. And I want people to feel relaxed. And that's why we do the space lighting behind me, so people can just let go of the earth based reality. I want people to feel the space reality, the cosmic reality of life. And hopefully we're bringing you into that level of frequency.
Yeah. Well, I got super tired recently, so I'm gonna pop down. But yeah, that's been
Yeah.
happening this week. It's a pretty strong feeling,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm ready to. I just, I'm ready to go. But
Yeah, I know. I think everybody, a lot of people in this room, are ready to go off planet physically and meet their star family, and you will. You'll definitely get there. So you're in a good place. We'll let you down and relax and watch the
okay,
show.
take care.
Yeah, who knows who else is going to pop up without me pressing anything. All right, let's do this here.
Okay.
That's what happens on the show, folks. We have this happen, Johnny of the third kind. Johnny is one of our brothers, who's one of the five. And Johnny, can I bring you up for a minute? Are you available to come up? I want to bring Johnny up. He's one of our five in the group with April, who will be is going to be going. He's been doing a lot of work off planet. I'll see if I can bring Johnny up here for a few minutes. I love to talk to him. I don't always get to talk to Johnny, but he's a really close brother with our group of five here. So we'll see if he can make it up here for like 2 minutes or something. I just sent him an invite request. You know. And like I said, Kit Kat, Johnny, myself, and Chesno, who you've seen on here, and April, we're part of a group of five that will be eventually together. The command will be taking us all together on the spaceship, the Astro Command ship. Yeah, I can bring you up tomorrow night. Absolutely. Absolutely, Johnny. Mike Masters, good evening. Good to see you, Patricia, Elvira, everybody coming in here. And we appreciate everybody here. So there's a lot, for me, I feel the energies a lot that are changing here. And I can tell you, with all the energies that are changing, things are getting more and more amped up. So it might affect your earth-based consciousness, meaning when I talk about your earth-based mind, Your mind now is your Earth-based 3D mind, which I call the mind, the 3D mind, the brain. The brain is going to be totally discombobulated pretty soon. And what does that mean? So we have a human brain. The brain likes to function with things it knows. The human brain likes to function with things that don't distract it or don't change it or don't tend to make the brain do something other different than what it knows. The brain is basically a trained computer. So look at your brain. The human brain is a trained computer. It's been trained ever since we were kids. It started with textbooks in school. First, it was okay. You can draw pictures, and as you were in kindergarten, you can be free to do this. And in kindergarten, it was great because you can draw your pictures and everything. And then, slowly but surely, as you elevated from kindergarten to nursery school or whatever, or nursery school to kindergarten or whatever it is, you started going into first grade and second grade and third grade, and then things started to change in your brain. So your brain was being taught and educated to be programmed into an earth-based society based on limitation, right? That's what the brain does. That's what the brain was being used for. So then you get your brain elevated into 3D consciousness. Whatever decade you were born, your brain is being elevated into a 3D consciousness. And that's all the brain knows, because that's what the brain was taught. Then the higher self, the inner self of the human person, that's the most important part. Your higher cosmic self starts busting out a little bit and starts activating and starts challenging your brain. So then you have the higher self, and then you have your brain, which is saying, no, you can't do this. You can't do any of this stuff. It doesn't make any sense. You were taught everything in textbook form. You have to follow the rules of the textbook form that you were taught in your school, right? But no, because now your brain has no control over the fact that you're becoming activated, and some of you were actually activated by having visitations by your star family. Others became activated because of the energies and the frequencies of the universe elevating and affecting your whole cellular structure. So by your whole cellular structure being affected, you now wake up to a different reality, right? You wake up to a more cosmic reality. You can't go back. We all started at some point in human existence, growing up, being what we would call 3D humans for a while. But many of you here know that you're not just 3D humans having a human existence. You are more than that. You are cosmic human consciousness. But not everybody has effectively activated that cosmic human consciousness. Once you do activate that cosmic consciousness, like I said, your brain will be not important. The brain is good for simple things on Earth. Okay, let's book a trip to the Bahamas. Let's go to the farmer's market. Let's go to the store. Let's go, put gas in the car, whatever. Those are typical little things that the brain will remind you of. So the brain is a human computer, essentially, that tells you to follow a certain specific program. But when you wake up, you're not operating out of your brain, you're operating out of your cosmic consciousness. Cosmic consciousness is the key to your reality of your remembrance of who you are. Remembrance is a good word to use. So when you remember who you are, you're operating in that conscious state. Okay? Lana, thank you. Our space family, and I'm going to use the word space family for all the hundreds of you out there. Our space family lives everywhere. Thank you, Mauser. Thank you so much. Our space family lives here on Earth. There are space people that are not here in consciousness from off planet. There are physical spacemen and women who have landed here on ships in remote areas of the world for decades, and their mission was to come here physically, and they have. You'll find there are space people, and I've had people tell me stories. They've met them in a coffee shop. They look strange. They came up to the person who was on the show maybe, and they say, well, they just looked at me and said something that's unusual, and then they walked away. And they'll say they were human, but they were taller, and they looked different. So there are space people. Mike, not 2030. It's going to be happening sooner than that, and we're talking within. Just to let you know, within. I'll get into that a little bit. But the space people that live here that have physically come off a spaceship, they landed in remote areas first, in fields that were outside of city areas. They wouldn't obviously do it that way. Some of them came off the ship and actually came through a rift in a maybe in a city somewhere where no one was there, and then they were in human clothing. So when you're walking down a street in a city in a little town somewhere in Europe or wherever, there are space people living here that came off the spaceships. Did you know that? How many people understand this to be to be true? I'm giving you everything I tell you that I get is my information from being telepathic and being a space person. So there's no way anyone can verify, or any computer or any algorithm can verify anything I'm saying, nor should it even try to. Because let's face it, everything that's been written, by somebody is somebody's thoughts or perceptions of reality. Mike, thank you. So the space people that live on Earth, they live in every aspect of our society, and many of them have married Earth-based men and women. They have families. Some of them don't. Some of them are very just individually doing their thing. Some of the space people are scientists. Some of them are teachers, and they'll look different. They could be in a university, a high school, elementary school, anywhere in the world. They fit in, but they're going to look different. Their face is going to look brighter. Their eyes are going to look slightly different than the human eye. And you're going to know the difference between a space person physically on Earth versus someone who is just a regular human being. You'll know the difference. Most of the space people that come here, people will tell me, I saw a space person, they had an olive complexion. So some of the space people do have like an olive complexion. If you do see them and they kind of walk into let's say, a coffee shop for an analogy, they go into a coffee shop or coffee house and they're going to get a cup of coffee, and then they look at you, you'll see it in their eyes and you'll see it in their facial expression. And they'll look totally different in the sense of their energy. So it's not so much different as a human being. They will look, beautiful, but their energy frequency is going to be way different than yours. It's going to be way higher in that level of understanding. So everything I'm sharing with you right now is about how to understand, as I have a lot of information here, how to understand when you do see a space person that came off a ship, what they look like. And have any of you ever seen a space person that has come off a ship in your travels anywhere in the world? Any of you? Maybe, maybe not. Jordan, I'm going to bring Jordan up here. Jordan, you come on up. We're going to bring people up randomly here on Ashtar night, if you can. Jordan's question is, can our space family always hear us? Yes. My space family right now is on a ship, and they're watching the show from the spaceship. My Ashtar Command family, my mother, my father, 2 sisters and brother, they might be doing mission work right now. I don't know if they're really actually watching, but they do watch the show. The Ashtar Command itself watches this show when I'm live, watches April when she's live. They watch us when we're live on the air here. So right now, my broadcast is being watched in outer space on an Ashtar Command spaceship. The gingerbread lady. I'll come up. What chat talking about? We're talking gingerbread lady specifically tonight about the Ashtar Command. We're not talking about anything else. The Ashtar Command is a lot of areas. So we're talking about space people that are from other planets that are coming here to Earth soon. We're talking about contact, and we're talking about when that's going to happen. We don't have a specific date, but it is going to be happening soon. We don't know what soon means, but it should be happening soon. And I've stated that we're looking at 2026 as the year of contact. If it comes before 2026, it could very well happen. Everything, divine timing can change that perception of contact time, but I'm still sticking with 2026 unless I see something totally shift. That's when we're looking at physical contact on more of a massive scale with the human race. So that's what we're talking about. Please follow, like, and share. I appreciate that as you're watching the show when you have a chance. Before the end of the night, go to my bio, press the red button, which is the follow button, and press the like button to like and follow me specifically too. Appreciate it. Hey, Nicole, welcome. So we're really focused on getting people focused tonight, sort of like an intergalactic class on the Ashtar command. And the Ashtar command is not just a word, it's a whole level of things. So understand, everything I'm going to talk about tonight is a whole level of things. Johnny, Yannick, good to have you with us. Dee, welcome. So contact, not just a call. We're looking at 2026, but that can change. It could be sooner, but they don't tell us specifics. They don't tell us specifics. You're welcome. That's why I'm only conservative about the time of contact until something dramatic happens. So you can almost say that because people are having so many experiences with seeing orbs, which are part of that galactic level of light. The orbs are different size orbs in space that people are seeing. But understand, right before contact, there will be much larger ships, starships, motherships that you're going to see. When these starships and motherships appear, and they will appear uncloaked around the planet, it's going to kind of change the perception of reality of who you are. Thank you, Maria. It's going to change the perception of reality. Good evening, Greta. The reality of who you are. So as I speak now tonight, I'm speaking in my space consciousness. I think it's Trey, what do you think about the drones? The drones are, I will say this, are Earth-based. Not all of them. They're Earth-based, created by our own level of green beans. But there are other ones that are mimicking our Earth-based green beans. That's my specific answer. GR says, Commander, what is the best way to try to make contact? Let me bring GR up. If GR, go into our, if you can get up here, but if you can't get up on live, I'll answer your question. The best way to make contact with your space mother and father and family is really to get focused, turn all your TVs off, your Spotify, your FM, whatever it is, and focus on deep meditation. Deep meditation means saying, I wish to contact my Christed star family specifically. And when you say it that way, it's like using the word Om or you, people. You've heard of the word Om. Om is used in a lot of meditation things. You or Om are very high frequency words and vibrational patterns. When you want to make contact with a great question, GR. When you want to make contact with your space family, it's not going to be automatic. It might take weeks, it might take months, it might take one night. It all depends on how open you are in your consciousness. But you have to also protect your consciousness and make sure you're not just making contact with some cosmic joker out there in space, because they're out there too, right? So when you're learning to make contact, folks, with your star family, and everyone can practice this question is a great question for probably hundreds of people here right now in this room. If you want to make contact, it's not going to happen automatically, but I know many of you do want to make contact. So it starts with consciousness. If you start to make conscious contact on a telepathic basis with your mother or father from space, your space mother, your space father, maybe you have a sister or brother, whatever, that'll happen in time once you learn how to do that. So the thing is to use higher frequencies of music, ambient music, meditation music, believe it or not. Christ conscious ambient music will work. And as you do those meditations and breathing exercises, listen to what you hear in your consciousness. It also means you need to turn off your brain, right? Because the brain is always thinking, the brain wants to keep going and talking, whatever. Turn off the brain and just listen to your inner guidance, the higher self. The higher self is your tunnel to connecting with your space family, being your mother, wherever she's from, whatever planet she's from, your father, your space father. You'll be able to all do this. I have full confidence in everybody out here. Even if you're new to the show, I'm not going to hit you over the head. So you can't do that. You're not ready. My whole thing is to liberate consciousness here. As an Ashtar commander, my whole thing is to wake you up, but I can't force you to wake up. You're going to do the work. All I'm doing is giving you the tools to do the work. I'm giving you the tools. Okay. And I have somebody in here that might want to come up here. GR. Okay, GR is going to come up. Good. Great question, GR. Welcome
Hi,
to the
everybody.
show. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I love the question. I think a lot of people have that on their mind, and you're thinking for mass consciousness. So let's talk about that. Tell us, have you been trying to connect with your star family, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother?
I have just gone like into light meditation. I had, I don't know how many years ago, maybe 5 now, but I thought it was spirit. I don't know. Um, I was laying in bed. I wasn't asleep and I wasn't like in between any states. And I looked over to my right and there was a guy next to me. I was kind of in shock. I looked at him and he looked at me for probably maybe 5 seconds and he was in solid form
Hmm.
and then he just disappeared. So I don't
Wow.
know. Yeah, I don't know whether it was, I thought it was spirit because then I didn't really know much about, you know, having a star family or anything like this. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me. I'm going to do something here. I'm going to have to do this here. Let me do this. I said. All right. So one of the things I would say is they were in solid form. So that number one means that they what when they came in solid form. This is great. What did you feel for that moment you saw that tall? How tall were they? What were they wearing? Do you remember anything like that?
I do. It had it was a gentleman and he was fair skinned and he had like a Dutch boyish kind of haircut or like yeah, like a Dutch
Hmm.
boy, the older Dutch boy haircuts kind of.
Right,
And his
right.
hair was like a light, I would say dishwater blonde or dirty blonde hair.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Um, and his shirt was, it had like, it was a button-down shirt, button-up shirt, casual dress-ish with it like had some of the shirts that have palm leaves and things on it, like palm trees on it. It was brown
Yeah,
with just like palm trees on it. And then
yeah,
the pants, I don't remember what color, but they were just I don't know if they were khaki or jeans. I can't I really don't
yeah,
remember the pants, but he had clothes and stuff on, you know. It
yeah.
was solid
So, yeah.
like you would see a
Wow.
person because it was like
Yeah.
seeing a person, but it didn't fade in and it didn't fade
Right,
out. It was just gone.
right.
It was weird.
So I can tell you off the bat who that I can't tell you what they who they were. Well, I can tell you in general who they are. When you mention the
Okay.
hair and you mention the face and the solid form, they are actually a space being that came to you.
Okay.
How tall were they? Do you
Okay.
remember?
I would say average height, you know, not real tall, not real short. Just to
Yeah.
me, it was like an average height man,
Yeah.
maybe 5'9"
Okay.
ish,
That,
six
that
feet
that's
ish.
cool. 6 feetish. That's cool. And would you say their body, their form of their body was perfect?
Oh, definitely in shape.
Definitely in shape. Okay. I'm asking these questions, or yeah.
Okay.
So definitely they took the form of wearing regular clothes, not to scare you, but that was a space being.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the thing is that happened to you without you thinking about it consciously how to make contact. Your space family is there, and like I said, I think to facilitate contact, the best thing you can do is focus on the meditation. And when we talk about space people, many times they are 7, 8, 9 feet tall. The Anunnaki could be 10 feet tall, but not all human space people are, you know, that tall. Some of them could be about 6 feet tall. So, yeah, I would focus in on meditation and going into that state of consciousness where you just allow yourself to listen to higher frequencies of music,
Mm-hmm.
and that will help. And nothing is a rush. There's no rush. There's a lot of time for people to learn how to make contact consciously with their star family, and I think that if you do that, let me know on Saturday nights how you're progressing with it because I'd like to know
I
what
will.
happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I just remembered that was around the time too with the hurricane had come through. And then for the longest time, I thought drones were flying around and a lot of them were smaller, but they were getting like close. And every night about between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning, they would come by the back of my house, and I could see the lights, but I didn't hear anything. And I just learned that do all drones make noise? Because I was told they do. These
Uh,
didn't make any noise, and it
yeah,
was around the time I saw this person.
that was probably mimicking something like that. So you definitely weren't dealing with a 3D being or 3D consciousness whatsoever. That's my answer.
Okay,
It's a very direct
I
answer.
appreciate
It's
your
not,
help.
yeah. Yeah, no, my pleasure. And that's a good question. So I had the answer right on top of my head here. GR, thank you. I hope you'll practice some of
Thank
the things
you.
I'm mentioning, and it will
I
certainly
will.
help.
I sure will. Thank you so
All right.
much.
All right, GR, we're
Good
going to
night.
bring it down on Ashtar Command Night. And if you have a question, folks, you've been waiting on Saturday nights to have me answer, and you have enough followers, we can bring you up here. You can ask your questions. This is Ashtar Command Night on Encounters. This is a special night every Saturday where we talk about our space family. Um, Hey, Chad and everybody. I don't think we have completely silent flying objects yet. We have gotten close. Rogue. So, yeah, in her case, this was a mimicking of a Earth-based technology, but it wasn't. But that separated from the fact that in her story, this man appeared next to her bed that was human, and mentioning the hair color and everything about the description was that it was definitely a Palladian. David, welcome. Kimberly, welcome. So it's important to realize that we are individually having contact. Case in point, GR had a minimal contact one night, and the space person was wearing very human clothes. Great way to introduce yourself to somebody who, that you come into their room out of nowhere, a solid form, and then disappeared. So maybe that clicked up her consciousness a little bit, right? That she's now that's why she had the questions, because now with that experience, now she's want to know more. She wants to, it got her to wake up to that level. And that's what I mean when I talk about contact. Every single person out here has some of you have already had physical contact either this year, the last few years, or maybe it just started a week ago. I have no idea. There's so many people here. I have no idea who's had contact, but I do know that your star family is going to start making contact with you. I want to also make it really clear. Watch out who you're making contact with or who's contacting you. What does that mean? Okay, from an Ashtar command perspective, you want to make contact with Christed star people. If you're making contact with lower vibrational people, say, Commander, oh, I just had contact with, the Zeta. No. If that's happened, then you need my help. Oh, Commander, I've had contact with reptilians. Then you need my help. But what I'm trying to get people to focus on is contacting their space cosmic family, which are 95% human. 95% of the different space people from other planetary worlds are like us. They're taller than us, definitely taller, and from not all, but most. So they're definitely inhuman. Their radiant energy of their bodies show very specific energy. Some of the space people are what you call a radiant light being. So the radiant light appears above and around their body. So that's what we call a light being. A light being will radiate that energy outside of their physical body. So that's what we call a light being. So people use the word light being a lot, but what is a light being? So I want you to understand when we have contact or you have contact, what you tell Commander and say, Commander, I've had contact with a light being. Now we're not talking about somebody who's someone who weighs 100 pounds. We're not talking about that kind of a light being. We're talking about a radiant light of energy around their body. How many of you have ever had contact with what I call a light being? If you had, you were contacted by a very high level of consciousness, a light being. They have a very high frequency of consciousness. Okay. The Ashtar Command has many different types of elevated conscious human beings. Some have the radiated light around their body. Some of the Ashtar Command people will have purple, be blue looking, have different colors of their skin. And that's because of the frequencies and the planetary systems they come from. The perception of reality is that we as humans think of others needing to look like us. No, that's a misperception of reality. If you believe and feel that others should be looking like us, again, that's a misperception of the way we've been brought up to believe. You know, does every tree look the same? Does every branch look the same? Does every flower look exactly the same? If you go to a really good garden center, there are many varieties of flowers. They're still flowers, but they generate different colors. So when you look at all the beautiful flowers and the different flowers and what they do, they all have a vibrational frequency. They all have a frequency that operates in a vibration. So when you're dealing with spiritual beings from off planet, they operate in different vibrational patterns of light. Therefore, what does that mean? The color of their physical body could be different. You know, some of them will look olive complexion. Some will have like a bluish, beautiful blue body. Some will have a purple body. Some might have a pink body, and they elevate in a very different frequency. Their eyes will be very radiant. And whenever you meet a star person physically in your life, their eyes are the most important thing to look at too. When you look into their eyes, you'll see much love. You'll see the beauty of that love coming through their eyes. The energy projects through their eyes, through their consciousness. And if you go face to face with each other, you'll be getting a transmission of energy, of light from your star family. Then when you meet your mother or father, or generally somebody from the star levels, they will show you by just looking at each other, you'll feel the love. You'll feel a radiant light energy. The eyes is really, yeah, it's really the opening to the universe of understanding. The eyes are everything. So if you've never met your star family, the eyes are going to be the first thing you want to look at. You know, let's face it. If you walk down the street into that coffee shop and somebody comes up to you and they look really different, and this you're feeling this energy like they're not from here, you're going to look at their eyes first. The first thing people do when they go in, and just this is just a natural thing. When you go into a restaurant or you go into a store and you're like, let's say you bump into somebody, and the first thing you're going to do when you bump into each other is what do? You're looking at each other. The first thing people do is look at each other, you see. When you look at each other, you're seeing who you are. They're seeing who they are. It's not so much so much their face or what their hair looks like. It's the eyes. It's the eye. It's always the eyes, right? How many people know that the eyes are a really important part of what you see? Yeah, the eyes are the window to the soul. So when you're looking at each other, and let's say they're from outer space, you're going to see the cosmic beingness of that being through their eyes. You're going to know it like right away, unless you're asleep. It'll be right through their eyes, without a question. That's the most important thing. Now, if you continue to start talking to each other, and it might be that space being bumped into you on purpose. This is just a hypothetical. So if you run into that space being, well, not run into them, but you're like, oh, here, what happened here? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, what's your name? Oh, my name is so-and-so. Oh, wow, you look different. And then they start talking to you about things, and they say, can I talk to you for a minute? I've been watching you. And this is not like somebody's, trying to follow you. You're going to say, well, this person's not really an earth human person. I think we should sit down and talk. You'll know it. You'll know in your own heart, in your own instincts, whether that person is a human being or whether there's somebody else from another planet, just by the physical makeup and by the energy frequency. Okay? Yeah, like the way soulmates feel, Rogue. Yeah, that would be absolutely true. You know? So I got a lot of information. I've had Jules Z says I've had something, but it wasn't in solid form, and it was like they were translucent. Jules Z, we're going to bring you up here, and to share that, I'm going to take a drink of apple cider. I've got some apple cider here. Jules Z, why don't you come up if you can? Jules Z, you're invited. I'm going to actually wait a minute. Where's Jules Z here? Yeah, Josie, if you go into the multi-guest option, we can bring you up. I'd like to hear about the translucent. And translucent beings are also higher vibrational beings. There are beings that are human, but they are translucent. That means their energy is so high that their bodies are translucent to our human understanding. Translucent beings also, believe it or not, have families. You say, well, how does a translucent space being have a family? Just like anybody else. It's beyond our perception how they create families, but the translucent beings, men and women, they have families too. And their babies are translucent. There are other situations where a space being could be physical, solid, and also become translucent. That's a whole nother thing. So if you see a physical space being visiting you and say, okay, my name is Ark, and I am physical here, Jules Z, and what I'm going to do now as Ark, I want to show you that I can become completely translucent. So then they show their bodies translucent. So you see that beautiful energy translucent. Now Ark says, okay, now I'm going to go back to the physical solid body for the convenience of your being on Earth. I want to show you me in a very solid form so I don't freak people out. So translucent, if you know the definition of translucent, a space being can be translucent or non-translucent. Depends on what they want to do. You know? Yeah, they can. A lot of good questions here tonight. And welcome everybody out there, all the 328 of you that are here. Welcome to Ashtar Command Night. We do this every Saturday night to educate people, not just about when contact's going to happen, more importantly, to understand the different natures of the space people, the higher dimensional people, the people that work in a very peaceful state of consciousness, our space brothers and sisters. Part of my mission is to educate you and take your questions tonight and try to help you out with things you don't understand. Because there's a lot of misinformation out there on the web for years and regarding Ashtar Command, and I'm here too because I am an Ashtar Commander. I can speak from that consciousness. I don't channel anything. I don't do any of that. Everything I get is telepathic. All my information is telepathic. If you stick around here and don't go scanning all over TikTok, you might really enjoy the program. I see the numbers going up and down because people are scanning TikTok, trying to figure out what they're doing. Stick around here for a while. You're welcome to be here. And I say that to all the new people that have never watched the show here. Welcome. Let's see here. So Jules, great question. That was a great question. I hope that answers the question. And again, welcome all 362 people. You're all welcome here. I know sometimes you say, well, what's that about? I do these shows every night. Tonight is our special night for Ashtar Command. Some of you might not even know who we are, but we are real. We are space people. I am a space person in human consciousness here in human form, but I am from space. I don't channel anything. I am from space. I'm operating in a space consciousness right now during the show, and I can answer most questions. Most, I say not all, but depending on the question, I can answer your question related to Ashtar Command. Let's see here. April, we're going to bring April Torino. April, we're going to bring April up. We love having everybody here. We really want to include everybody. April, good evening. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, good. It's nice to meet you, April. Whereabouts are you?
Where am I? I am in Texas.
Oh, we have a lot of viewers in Texas. Welcome to the Ashtar Command Night. And what would you like to ask us here on Ashtar Command Talk?
Um, so I've had a lot of experiences since my 20s, maybe even since my teens, and it's taken me like a whole decade to figure out what was going
Hmm.
on, what's been going on. Um, but at this point in my life, I can say for certain that I've been receiving downloads. I just can't pinpoint the source.
Hmm. So interesting question. Tell me, I've got the feeling you've been not just getting downloads, but have you had contact?
I can't say for certain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have had like
Hmm.
any specific contact.
Mm-hmm.
But like the downloads I have received in my dreams and in my wake as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I've experienced some paranormal activity as well as a couple of what they call glitches.
Yeah, we say from the paranormal, but we definitely deal with the space stuff.
Okay. So, the glitches I can only, uh, I guess say, I don't know the best way to describe it, but like, I guess, the universe or God I don't know, I usually just use the word source.
Yeah,
Um,
source is good.
yeah, showing me the nature of reality.
Hmm.
Um, and then the downloads that I have, whether it's in a dream or while I'm awake, they seem to be shapes or just related to sacred geometry.
Hmm. Ah, sacred geometry. That's really good.
Um, so like when I receive a download, I may or may not do research into it to try to understand it. Um, and I understand that I don't have to do research, but it kind of like
Right.
intrigues me. So I kind of
Right.
just like start scouring the internet for anything related to what I receive. Um,
And understand something. This is really important. One of my teachings here as a space person, I come from off planet. I am a human being. I have a family. I have a daughter and a wife, and I have an Earth existence. But I've been a contactee, and so my space family when I was a kid in a flying saucer, looking out the window to them in a cul-de-sac in a suburban neighborhood. This is back in the 1960s. So, but then I went back into sleep. I didn't really sleep consciously. I just never talked about it because, you know, there were when I started getting open, people weren't receptive, and this is back then. Now people would be. So, and when you get downloads of the secret geometry, as you say, secret geometry is that's good. But understand when you're getting downloads, you're getting information nobody else is getting. You're open like you're an open receiver from space consciousness of secret geometry. If you're getting the secret geometry downloaded, you can go within and meditate on it and get understanding it without even having to necessarily go to someone else who wrote something about it on the internet. You're getting downloads of information. So, do you realize that you have the ability to actually get the answers within yourself in terms of what that is, what that means, or have you tried to do that?
I do understand that, and actually the very first one that I got through a dream, I kind of took it as an invitation to begin meditation, and so I kind of like get after myself about that because like I'm really slow to like begin practicing. Um, I actually did one like 30 like not 30 minutes ago, but I did a 30-minute meditation like this afternoon because of a dream that I had last night, that I think was the result of me setting an intention before bed. Like I wasn't feeling very well, and so I set
Hmm.
an intention in writing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wasn't sure like if I would receive anything, but I kind of thought like if there is anything that needs to come through, it will probably come through in a dream like I have had before. And
Right.
so sure enough, I had a very relevant dream.
Yeah. And the thing is, that's the point. Don't worry about going over the internet by looking at a man or a woman that has a book out or wrote something, because their information comes from their own experiences. So when you have that happen to you, you're getting spot on information from that dream. So and the wonderful thing about your story is when we have intentions in our dreams could be a place where we're getting downloaded information from off planet. And it might not be very specific. And the word source is a beautiful word, creator source or whatever. Uh, when you get the information, keep a journal. You have memory of what you've actually downloaded in your dream, but write down every morning if it happens every night or every other night. Keep a journal of what that is. You're going to remember what those writings are that you did and focus on each word, each intent of that sentence, and you're going to have the answers. You don't have to go anywhere for the answers. You are the answer. You see, this is the part of breaking the matrix and liberation of consciousness, and that's why I'm here on Earth doing what I do, is to let people know to have confidence in your own higher self, your own cosmic dreams, and your own downloads. That once you get the download, why would you need to go anywhere else? You just have to just look at the stuff you've written down in your journal, and then you can go back to it if it was from 2 weeks ago, and just then you'll have the answers. They'll come back to you. You'll get more downloads about whatever that sentence was or whatever that whole thing was. You have the ability to do it right now.
Yeah. In the chat, Enlightening Lane Tarot asks, it says, "Are you maybe a grid keeper who is helping to rebuild Earth's grid lines?"
Oh
And
yeah, I see that.
yeah, I find that an interesting question because one night while I was getting comfortable in bed, I wasn't asleep yet. I closed my eyes for like 2 seconds, and I caught a very vivid vision of a grid. And then I opened my eyes and like the room was dark and I was looking around to see if maybe I saw like a negative imprint of something. Well, there was nothing in the room that matched
Hmm.
that what I saw. And so I was like, oh, like that was very clearly a grid. And but I was going to sleep, so I was like, well, you know what? I don't know what to make of that, but I'll think about it tomorrow. But ever since that night, I've been seeing, like on social media, just like grid everywhere, and so like there's so many things related
Hmm.
to just the word grid that I can't pinpoint exactly what it was referring to.
Yeah, and exactly. A number of people are saying that you are a grid keeper, and I tend to think that was, well, just understanding what you're talking about. You are. That's part of your mission on Earth is the grids, and that's a phenomenal mission. Just to focus on grids before we ever have contact. You're a grid keeper, but you're also more than that. You are downloading information. I also think that you are not only a grid keeper. Do you ever have heard of the word starseed? That you are basically in this human physical body called April, but you might not remember what planet you come from, which is okay. You don't have to right now remember. Maybe you do, but you are also a star seed, meaning you came here purposely, and your mission before coming to Earth was you were involved in grids on other planetary worlds. You are, in a sense, like a grid keeper, which is a beautiful
Oh,
thing. Yeah,
I don't know for sure that I am a star seed, but I do resonate a lot with the term light worker.
light worker. Well, a light worker is a star seed.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
it's just semantics. Light worker, star seed. You can come up with all these different words, but essentially, a light worker is someone that came from off planet, from another planet, into a human consciousness, into a human body. So, light worker, starseed, just for everybody's sake of the answer, light worker, starseed are all the same thing. There's no difference.
Okay. Well, the
Yeah,
term grid keeper is new to me, and I like that one
yeah,
because it seems to
yeah. I
make
like it too.
sense with my download.
Yeah, you're a grid keeper from off planet, so that's a good way. Grid keeper from off planet. We don't know what planet you come from. That will happen sometime this year. You're going to remember where you come from through meditation.
Okay.
Definitely.
And there's
Yeah.
just like what I usually hear from people is like, "Oh, you might be uh, a light worker, but that doesn't necessarily make you a star seed." And so they're kind of like trying to say there is a difference between like light worker and star seed. So I've had a lot of confusion about that.
Yeah. So whoever told you that, they're incorrect. A light worker, to be a light worker, is not to just be a physical 3D human being. A light worker is a star seed. They come from off planet. So star seed is your space consciousness here in human form, and the star seed, the space being that you were before you came here, is filled with light. So I'm gonna break down the definitions here. Great, great. I'm glad you bring that up because there's some confusion between light worker, star seed. There essentially is the star being, the star seed of consciousness. You have a human family, brothers, sisters, maybe cousins, relatives. I have, family that are earth based. But I'm also a light worker because I'm spreading light around the planet doing my mission work here from the Ashtar Command. Starseed means the only different thing the starseed is that we all come from off planet, but we're seated here not by somebody else. We chose to be here. We just don't remember that we came here purposely and agreed to come here and be April or be CmdrAleon or whoever. But we all agreed to come here, whether we agree with it or not. On some level, we all came here, forgot who we were, and now we're waking up. So you have all these abilities that are starting to wake up in you, and that's a beautiful thing that you're, a grid keeper. Yeah.
Okay. And I want to say also like um I didn't officially step into my spirituality until about 2 years ago, and I had no idea what the heck was going on. This was a result of a breakup from an abusive relationship. And so, what I was experiencing during, right before that breakup, like officially happened, I was going through like an internal split in which it was like my light side and my dark side, like my shadow, in disagreements with each other. So like for 4 months, I was having an internal dialogue with my shadow. I kind of thought I was just making things up in my head or like I was losing my mind, but like it was very strong feeling, almost like a separate entity from me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But what I understood was that, and I felt like it was a feminine energy, but it was like, I call it she, obviously. It's like she was the manifestation of like pain and anger and like chaos and just like everything negative that I had like stuffed down for so long that had
Ah,
to like
okay.
come back up eventually, right?
Yeah.
And so, but it was also like a very protective energy. And so like the dialogue kind of went like, look at the choices that you've been making. You're clearly not happy. And so like she basically, yeah, Hikari, I've read a little bit about that, Hikari. Basically she was like trying to, the way I like to word it is that she was trying to take the reins from me because I was just like letting myself go in circles in this relationship. And so I went through like a period of like limbo because I just didn't know what to do. I just got tired of like fighting her, and then eventually I kind of just like gave in and did what they call like a leap of faith, just to let her decide, what was best for me.
Yeah. So, when we come to that position of where we're going into a higher state of consciousness, and you're speaking for a lot of people right now that are not on here live with us, but you do speak through the human experience of splitting from, and the split is from a lower vibe consciousness of the human reality that we all have to now saying, now I'm going to, now the other half of you, well, it's not, you're really a whole person, but the other half of you is going into this other frequency that's higher than the split of the other one that's more human with all the messy things that have gone in, let's say, in that consciousness. Now you're going beyond that consciousness saying, I don't want to be that consciousness. I'm letting you, so we're essentially letting go of that 3D world consciousness that has been with us for most of our lives. And now this, what you're talking about now is the other consciousness, which is your basically your cosmic consciousness, the grid keeper, the light worker, the star seed that now you are a star seed. And when I give you information, my information is accurate. So being the star seed, you came from off planet as a baby with a human family. You grew up as a human being wherever you are. And then you become what you call a light worker, spreading light, and a grid keeper spreading light because they're working with the grids. So you've probably worked with the grids before you came to Earth, you worked with grids on other planetary systems. And in time, all this stuff you're getting downloads. So that's why the journal thing I think is really important for you to keep a journal every day when you do have this download happening and just go through it. Take your time with it. Maybe listen to some higher vibrational ambient music, which I'd recommend if you don't already do that. That helps your consciousness, the vibrational patterns of sound. And I think you're on the right track. I think you're doing some beautiful things.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, excuse me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is my understanding, I think, that in order to be a light worker, you probably gotta start with some shadow work. That's what I was informed about before I understood all of this. It was just a friend and a family member that kind of like gave me little clues, and I was like, oh, okay, this is starting to make sense. Like I know I'm not crazy no more. Like this is a real thing.
Yeah, it is. And I just took somebody out that was not here for the right purposes. So the commander is looking at comments. So I did take that person out just to let people know. But and Mistress, don't worry, I took that person out, so they're out. But April, thank you for being here, and you're always welcome. I'm on every night, well, most nights. I sometimes take a break to regenerate, but I'm on at 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 Central. And tonight we do on Saturday nights we do Ashtar Command Nights. So we appreciate you very much and sharing a bit about what you're doing. I think that's great.
Thank you. I'm glad I could be up here and share my experience.
Yeah, you're doing great stuff. Everyone, April, thank you, April. We appreciate you. All right, we're going to bring her down, and this is Ashtar Command Night, and we will definitely take your questions. If again, we're real focused here, so I don't want to get misfocused. Other nights, between Sunday and Friday, I will deal with situations like implant removals. I'll do that Sunday night if someone's having a problem Sunday night at 11 p.m. is when I will do the General Encounter show. I will be doing that tomorrow night. So thank you, April. Again, you're watching Ashtar Command live here. This is Encounters, our Ashtar Command night here, exclusively on Saturday nights. I am CmdrAleon, the host of the show. I am from Mars originally with 10 to 15 million inhabitants. I'm also a contactee, and I'm also fully activated, meaning that I don't go anywhere. I really don't go anywhere. I don't go, just to let you know, I don't go anywhere on the internet seeking information. I don't really watch a lot of TV. Sometimes I watch a movie. Well, no, I do watch movies, just to, just movies I like. But other than that, I am totally liberated in my cosmic consciousness, and I don't go to other human beings that have websites for my information. And that's what I'm talking about. It's really easy to do that. And maybe some people do have really beautiful information. But I find if you can get downloads of information and learn how to, get contact and download the information yourself, we all have the ability. We just don't always use it. We've been so trained in our schooling on Earth that we have to go through a textbook or an internet site or something to get the information, when all the information is locked up in our consciousness. And I use the word locked up because our consciousness, when we fully awaken, it will unlock all our cosmic understanding. When our cosmic consciousness is locked up, we can't get all the information, right? But when we unlock our cosmic consciousness, we can see everything, understand everything, know everything. Well, we don't always know everything, but we will know a lot more things than we do when we're asleep. Tony says, when you know things you had no possible way to know and confirm that them builds amazing confidence. Absolutely, Tony. Absolutely correct. And the Lady Lyric, I call it knowing. Very good. Very good, Lady Lyric. Very good. I'm looking at your comments here. And should you have any questions for me related to Ashtar Command Night, and if you're new here, this is our main night for things about the Ashtar Command. We're not going overly crazy about when contact's happening. People asked me that earlier. We are going to have contact, all right? That I will tell you. I don't know in divine timing what that is. I can't give you a specific date, but we know that it's coming soon. Our space family talks about it coming soon. They won't give us a time. They won't give us a specific date. That's something they're never going to do that. They don't operate the way we do. We as human beings, even as beautiful light people, light workers, people that are awakened here, why can't they just give us a date? I used to think that way. I used to, for years, think, what's the date? When's the time? But years ago, there was no specific thing like it's coming soon. It was just that there's going to be, the channels will always say, oh, we love you, we're going to contact you, But that's the problem with channeling in Facebook. There was a rant of channeling on Facebook over the years, and everyone was channeling the same space being, and they all had different information. So that there should have told you, wait a minute, which one is the right one, right? None of them were. So that's why it's just beautiful to be able to give you information directly and tell you that we are having contact soon. Soon does not mean tomorrow or next weekend, So don't get too focused on channeling, because there was a channel evidently that said this weekend we were going to see motherships. And that's the problem with that is when someone says that, there are people saying, Commander, we're going to see motherships Saturday or Sunday. This weekend, we're going to see a bunch of motherships. I'll tell you, if I saw a mothership, if I knew there was a mothership today when I went out traveling through Connecticut with my other half of my life, I would have told you that. There were no motherships, and if there were, I didn't see any. So what I'm saying is there will be contact, by the end of the year. We just don't know when. So feel at peace to know that when contact happens, it's going to be a big deal. Everything's being done in the right way. The space people are not going to just pop up over New York City and Paris. Not going to happen that way. They're being very careful to make sure that we don't freak out when the ships show up. They're already here. They're cloaked. There's many more space people on ships coming here from all over the multiverse. They're here. Okay. They just don't want to freak people out. Could you imagine freaking the human population out? We're dealing with billions and billions, like, Carl Sagan, billions and billions and billions, say billions and billions and billions of star systems. I can do an impression of Carl Sagan. They're billions and billions of years old. So he would always talk about that. Excuse me. I talked to Friends with Furries. I told her if she's available at some point tonight. She's got family stuff going on, but if she's available, we'll have her up when she gets out here, if she happens to be popping in. So yeah. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you something that I did have happen. I was telling the Friends with Furries about it. See, I don't remember everything. So when I go somewhere off planet, I don't remember everything. But I did go to, and again, I don't have any memory of it, but I do believe it to be true. Let me get some apple cider. I have so much apple cider here, I should drink it. So, because I don't remember, but April saw me, that I went with her to interdimensional Earth. This was just a couple of nights ago, I think. I don't remember anything, and I'm fine with that. I just don't remember. And I know the information to be true. So I guess I went astral projected to interdimensional Earth, and I saw these, what they call these big mushrooms. And there were crystals and these big mushrooms in interdimensional Earth. I was taken there by a space being from the interdimensional Earth, and I evidently was in awe of what I was looking at. And but I actually, when she told me the story, I started visualizing these big mushrooms. As soon as she told me the story, I had imprints of these big mushrooms. They were like as big as like a pine tree. I mean, they're big. And then these crystals, I can see these crystals like popping out in different places on the ground level near these mushrooms in interdimensional Earth. And it's just annoying. So when she told me the story, J. Mark, I all of a sudden got an imprint as she was sharing the story. All of a sudden, I said, "Oh wow, I'm getting imprinted." It's like it's turning a TV it's like turning a cable TV set on, like your TV. You have it off, and then you turn it on. You see a picture. So as she's telling me the story, I'm seeing the visualization of a picture in my consciousness, like I'm like closing my eyes, and I'm seeing exactly where I am at that point. So what happened is she activated my ability to remember when I astral traveled to the interdimensional Earth that there are these big mushrooms, and there are these crystals. And so once I got the projected information, as I'm talking to you now, I can picture it now. I can see these big, huge mushrooms. They're mushrooms of some sort, and also these crystals. And I can see the beauty of the interdimensional Earth area where this landmass is, where we were. And then I went back into from astral traveling back into my human consciousness. And it probably was when I was asleep. It was probably one night when I was asleep, that I was taken into that consciousness. So, yeah, the Lady Lyric becomes a memory. So that was a beautiful thing. As she shared the story with me, I know I astral traveled, but I couldn't remember anything until she started projecting the story. As she's telling me the story of where I was with her, I can now see the whole beauty of the landmass, and I can see these big, huge mushrooms in my consciousness. And now it's imprinted. So now I have a memory. It's like a memory bank. I have a memory of it, and I see this woman who's wearing some sort of a spacesuit, and then I went back from astral traveling to that place with her. I went back into my physical form, and I was probably sleeping. Yeah, so that is something I wanted to share tonight because that happened just like a few nights ago. So my ability to remember things can happen. The imprint of the visual memory happened when she told me the story. There'll be a time though when I fully remember things. Like I said, I do have times when I have full visual memory. Not all the time. I've always been that way. I'm always telepathic, but I'm not always visual. For me, it's telepathic, not always visual, you know. So the interdimensional part where I was just a beautiful place. Now, for whatever reason, they feel it's important for me to be here. You know, the space people want me to be really present here on Earth to do what I'm doing before contact, and so you know, I'm here. I'm very present here. I feel very good to be here. I know everybody. I know a lot of you wish to physically, and I'm too. I'm human. I'm just like you. I would like to see myself and many others be able to be having direct contact with the people off the ships, meaning coming off the ships. But I know that that will happen for everybody, for all of you, even if you're just starting out. Thank you, Nahasha. I think it'll happen for everybody. One of the truest things I believe about being here on Earth is that I've learned not to, I try not to respond to human 3D situations, although if it's related to how the planet is treated, I do respond as a human being. I have feelings, emotions. I think we all do. That's a good thing. But my emotions and feelings are in how terrible something is. Oh, that should never happen, or this thing should never happen. You know, I'm being very careful the way I'm saying these things, but being from another world, coming to a human consciousness, we're operating tonight in my space consciousness. I don't understand how a world of billions of people can live like this. I don't understand it. I don't understand how people can just live the way they live. You know, I don't really get to understand. I mean, I live here. I'm also part of that experience. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm experiencing the same thing every other human being experiences, but all our experiences are different. Some people are living in a cardboard box. Some people are living in a mansion. Some people are living in a trailer. Some people are living in a house. Some people are nomadic and traveling in a camper all over the place and parking out on a park. Everybody's different, you know. Some people are, you know, have lots of things and want lots more things. Some people own islands and have lots of money to own an island of their own and build a mansion. You know, whatever. Mike says, I've questioned this planet since the beginning. I've always known somehow. And Mike, yeah, you know, you got to always question the planet because this planet is really been here for billions of years. So many things have happened in our time. And when we question the reality of why we're here, that's really the big question, isn't it? Why are we here? How did we end up? What made us decide to volunteer? And everybody here, whether you believe it or not, you do come from outer space. You just don't remember. It doesn't matter if you don't remember because you will eventually remember. There's some of you here that do remember, and you're probably asking yourselves, just like I do sometimes, and I do this, why did I decide to come here to this planet when I had everything going for me off planet, where I was with my family, I traveled the universe, I lived in peace and harmony. Why did I decide to come here? Did you ever ask yourself, why did I decide to come to Earth? That's the big question, isn't it? Why did we decide to come here? You know? Yeah, it is a beautiful world, you know? There's a lot of beauty here, even though we see all this other stuff. We don't have to go into it at all. Just let's say we see all this other stuff, okay? Just for sake of not having any problems. So we see all this other stuff going on the surface of the planet. But there's also at the same time the other stuff's going on. There's so much beautiful stuff here. You know, like there's beautiful wildlife, birds, animals. There's even beautiful people. You know, not everybody on this planet is doing things that are not beautiful. I think I'm being very good with my words tonight. But we do have beautiful people on Earth. Yeah, and Brent Chowder says Earth is one of the most difficult planets to live on in the universe. It kind of is, Brent. You're right. And the thing is, I guess we were sent here, and I'm saying this collectively. I think all of us were sent here on some level to help the planet. Well, it's evident we're here to help the planet, right? Like, why would we come here? Oh, I can be on planet Z out there in another universe. and it's a peaceful planet. The structures are beautiful. The water is clean. Everyone loves each other. The food is beautiful. Nothing is polluted. There's no wars or anything. It's a great planet. And then you say to yourself, why would I be coming here? Why am I here? What's the purpose? Yeah, Chronic Michelle, yes. Everyone did come from the stars. And the truth is, a lot of people forgot. That's why I'm here, to help people remember. I'm here to shake you up and get you to beautifully remember that you're not just having a human experience in a 3D construct, that you're here from another world. Now, I don't know, with 400 people, I couldn't tell you, everybody here, what planet you're from. That's not my purpose. That's not my job. You know? It's your job to focus on yourself within. It's your job to learn how to remember where you're from. You know, if I were able to tell every single person and I had the ability to tell you where you were from, that would take away your ability and your free will and your freedom of consciousness to learn that yourself. Everything I've learned, I've had to learn myself. I've seen things, I've been to conferences, I've seen things, but everything on an Ashtar command scale, I've learned on my own. You know, the awakening experience is a personal experience. It could be a collective experience, like tonight. Obviously, there's a collective experience, but it's also a personal experience. When you have the personal experience, every one of you out here, the hundreds of you out here around the world, you will have that in your consciousness when you're meditating. You know, meditation isn't overused, the word meditation, but there are different types of meditation. There's meditation to just feel good. Oh, I feel good now. I can go out and go to work. That's just a basic meditation. When you're dealing with the awakening meditation, the galactic meditation, that of the Christ conscious meditation, thank you, Yvonne, you're breaking the barriers of your 3D consciousness. What you all want to do is break the barriers of your 3D consciousness. And if you do that, you will now say, wait, what? I'm just saying stuff. You might have visual interpretations or experiences visually when you go to sleep. You might start seeing yourself on a ship. You might start seeing yourself with your space family. You might start seeing yourself on another planet. Not only that, I think some of you have. And what you need to do is keep a journal of that. You know, it's so important, brothers and sisters, to keep a journal of all your experiences. And some of you might just mentally remember all those things and not have to keep a written journal. But there are people out here that probably need to have a little booklet and keep a journal on a lined paper each morning of what your experience is. So if you're off planet and you say, oh, I now remember it, write it down. Write down what you remember. Go back to it. You can, if it happened 5 weeks ago, go back to it. And as you do this, you're going to, Mike, thank you for the roses. You're going to remember certain things. Hey, Yvonne in Scotland, good to have you with us, Yvonne. Applicant, welcome, applicant, and everybody. Light Pulse, welcome. You're going to kind of remember these things, where you actually come from. This is the year, I can't stress it enough tonight. This is the year to remember. This is the year not to run away from yourself, to run into yourself. When I say, what does that mean, run into yourself? What does that mean? I'll give you an answer in a minute, but I want to know, what do I mean when I say, as a person living on Earth, that you're now going to run into yourself? Tara, welcome from Scotland, USA here, Tara says. Lance N says, allergies, we were put in an environment that we are allergic to. It's not our natural environment. True. Well, that's true. It's not our natural environment. It really isn't. We've adapted to it, but it is not our natural environment. April says to learn who we are. Absolutely, to accept who we are. CmdrAleon, get out of your own way. Karen in England, welcome, Karen. So if you're just tuning in or watching, this is Ashtar Command Night. We're on every Saturday with Ashtar Command Talk about our space brothers and sisters of the Ashtar Command. And then Sunday through Friday is our regular encounter show on at 11 o'clock, 4 a.m. if you're in Europe. We're on at 4 a.m. in Europe, and that's 11 p.m. Eastern. Okay? And so it's really important to understand these things, to relate to these things, to gravitate toward these things. So when you run into yourself, this is the human self right here. This is the cosmic one. The cosmic one is starting to run into the human one. And there you go, having that conflict between the cosmic consciousness and the human consciousness of the human experience. Now, there's two things that can happen. You could integrate the human consciousness with the cosmic consciousness and come to an agreement to allow your cosmic consciousness to flow within your consciousness. When you wake up to that consciousness, now you can start projecting what you want to have happen. So, for example, when you go to sleep at night, you have the choice to decide how you're going to dream. You control the consciousness of how you're going to dream. What does that mean? That means I can go to sleep tonight. Before I go to sleep, I can project to myself that I wish to go off planet to visit my parents on the ship. And I will do that tonight. Tonight I'm going to do where I can astral project myself in my dream state, in my sleeping state, out of my physical body, and I'm going to project myself to visit my parents on the spaceship. Now, will I be able to do that? Yes. If I truly believe I can do that, I will project myself, whether I remember going off planet or not, I'm going to project myself to go to bed tonight, lay in my bed, and before I go to sleep, in advance of going to bed, I've just made a decision here on the show that I'm going to project myself, whether I remember the experience or not. I'm going to project myself and tell my star family, my mother, my father, my brother, my two sisters, I want to visit you tonight, and I'm going to go astral project myself. I have that freedom to do so. And when you realize you have that freedom, that can be done. Okay? That can be done. And that's an affirmation. Yeah, affirmation. So I am doing that affirmation. I'm committing to that affirmation. Yeah, it's the same as Tony manifesting. Affirmation, manifesting, if you make the decision, like Tony just said, manifestation, affirmation, basically the same thing, semantics, just words. You know? I wish I could do that. Amazing. So Karen, you can do that. You can do that. As a matter of fact, Karen, we'll bring you up here. And that's a great, I'm very random here. We're going to bring, if Karen wants to come up in Scotland, we'll bring her up. Ray says to get your heart checked, he's worried about you. Ray says to get my heart checked. I feel pretty good. I mean, my heart's pretty strong. So I do go to an earth-based physician, and I'm going to them the latter part of this month. I will remember my dreams and have complete control. I'm just reading some of the different people that are commenting. Oh, it's USA Tara. We have visitors from England and Scotland. Yeah, we do. England and Scotland. That's right. Yeah, Tara. Yeah, that's not going to happen to me. I do understand what you're saying, Mary. We're in good shape. I'm just reading comments. In Dream have a town I choose to go to. Sometimes there's a semesters there. I look at fabrics. Okay, let's see here. Hey, in pursuit of, welcome. When do you think so it's the UFOs, Karen, are not going to appear on Earth. It's going to be spaceships, or actually I should say space family. Josie, take care. Have a great night. Thanks for being here. It's going to be our space family. We need to get up to 100,000. We're at 94.1 right now. And we'd like to get up to 100,000 on Ashtar Command Night. So definitely welcome all the new people. Okay, I'm just reading. I'm having circulatory issues. Romo syndrome getting worse. Sorry to hear that, Tony. Sid Robbins, welcome to the show. Good to have you with us, everybody that's in here tonight. And I do take time to look at the comments too. Epiphany, well, that's a good name. Epiphany, Denise Mezer, AG, welcome to Ashtar Command Night. Deb Girl, hey Deb Girl. welcome. Babs, 1953, JoJo, all the new people, Wiz Nerd 2. Hey, One Toyota. Julie Harrington, welcome. So we have different people having different experiences here. And I think that the thing with the affirmation, the thing with the confirmation of who you are, and just making that decision, like when I affirm that when I go to sleep tonight, I'm going to go off planet, then I'm making that affirmation, that I've made that choice to do that. And as I've made that choice, it allows me to say, okay, I want to visit my space family. You want to visit your space family. And that's exactly what will happen if you so choose to make that decision. Right? So it's a really specific thing now. Stephen Bergman says open contact is happening now. And it is. It is, Stephen. There are people individually that are having contact. Not everybody, but around the world, I would say you've got probably hundreds of people, whether they have the internet, whether they don't have the internet or live in a little community, there are people that are having open physical contact, but mass contact is not yet happening. The big contact, that'll be happening soon, but that's the mass contact part of it, but that's going to be coming later. But people are every day and every night having, you're right, there are individuals that are actually having experiences and contact with their space family. And we hit 102,000, so we've hit over 100K. I want to hope that everybody on my main bio presses the follow button tonight before you go. If you're not following me, press the follow button and also the like button. That would be really, really nice to see as a reminder. LM something. Diana, good to have you with us. Katie, welcome, Katie. All the new people, Katie Sulky. Frog Toe, that's an interesting name. Miss Ruth, time will then be an illusion. Yes. Miss Ruth, that's actually correct, Miss Ruth. Time as we know it, because we're living in time, what Miss Ruth is saying is true. When contact happens, we're going to not be living in time anymore. We're not going to be wondering, oh, I got to get to lunch. It's now 3:00. Or I've got to have dinner. It's 8:00. Or I got to go to the doctor. It's 5:00. Whatever. It's going to not be like that. Hey, Yu from Pittsburgh. Good to see you. Always, Yu. Wesley Young, 97. Welcome, Wesley. Tad Gable. Bayou Blonde 8. Welcome. Mr. Kin. Matt. Baby Rat. That's an interesting name. Dawn Marie. Welcome, Dawn Marie. Susan. Welcome, Susan. Miss Merck something. Coco Sammy Aaron. Golden Girl. That's a good name. So it's good to see everybody here. All the new people. We are on here at 11 o'clock Eastern, which is 4 a.m. if you're in Europe. And again, we're on the East Coast of the United States here on Encounters. This is our Ashtar Command Night. Awareness is actually that guy that was harassing Commander harassed me too. I blocked him. Small world. Well, whoever was harassing me, I blocked them off the program, so they'll never be here again. So the commander is very conscious about comments, and I do look. Diana Yoga, have a good night. Sleep well. Sleep well. I'm not doing mornings, Chronic. I do just the evenings. Once in a while, you'll see me pop up on the weekend in the morning, but I tend to just do my nighttime programming. And Bazal says, when you learn to live with the flow of energy, it feels like a fairy tale. Sun Ray says, Commander, right now I'm outside with my binoculars. I can see a round circle of light. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's beautiful to see people doing things like this because that means people are exploring the universe and seeing things outside, which is kind of cool. Let's see here. Nini says, I'm going to have to leave. I keep losing you. Oh, I'm sorry that you're losing me, Nini. And maybe it's the internet connection or something. But I'm glad you were here, Nini. Thank you for being here. Karen says, what are you going to do today? Are you going out with friends and family? Yeah, we're going to be celebrating St. Patrick's Day tomorrow or today On my wife's side, they're Irish, and so yeah, we'll be celebrating some of the Irish tradition and food. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow or today when it's light out. Mike says, I felt like that before, and let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We love St. Patrick's, the holiday of St. Patrick's. We celebrate with the food, everything, and we get into the whole spiritual love of that whole holiday thing. It's kind of cool. It really is. And it's good to have everybody here from all over the world. I know All Star Seeds, ET bodies in the stasis on ships like yours is. Yes, Denise. So all the star seeds have their physical star body on a spaceship, and there's probably more than one spaceship because there's a lot of bodies that are in stasis. So my visual interpretation when I close my eyes is this like an egg-shaped thing, like a very comfortable egg-shaped thing that's big enough for the body, and the body's sleeping very comfortably in this egg-shaped thing, and it has some sort of a see-through thing above it, and you can look at the body from it, and you see this living body there, but the consciousness is on a human being on Earth. Hence, the ability of a starseed and their body being in stasis. Oh, good, Cleo. Very good. Oh, no problem, Denise. It's what it is, and that's a beautiful part. Yeah, just like Elegant Beauty, it's like in the movie Avatar, where the guy who was human went back into his space body of the Avatar in that whole series, and then he just woke up into his original body. So in that movie, it's kind of like, what's the original body, the human experience or that body? It could be both. He went back to that physical experience, which is kind of interesting. Coming up about 1:02 in the morning, you're watching Encounters, the Ashtar Command Night. We're glad to have everybody here with us. And Haley's comment, thank you for the share. K80, welcome to the show. We're going to stay on here till about 1:30 tonight for another 30 minutes. So yeah, another 30 minutes of live Ashtar Command Night. If you wish to come up with a question, don't feel afraid to come up. So you can come up just by going to the multi-guest option icon on your TikTok and just put a guest request in there. You have to be over 18, no foul language or cursing on the show, no drinking on the show. Mike, you haven't missed really anything here. And my shows are recorded, so they're on my YouTube channel. You want to go to my link, everybody. Follow me on my main bio link. Press the follow button, the little red square button, and press the like button. And there's a link to my YouTube channel, which is Ashtar Command Spaceship News. All our programs are recorded, and you can watch past shows of the last 3 years on that YouTube channel. Okay? Oh, we used to watch that years ago, the original one. Yeah. Dasher, good Dasher. Welcome, Becky Lawson. Welcome to the show. Hayden, welcome, Hayden. Z, welcome, Z. Tommy Taylor, welcome back. Rita Lynn remembers that show. Twisted, Mike, welcome, Mike. Cynthia Harris, too, welcome to Encounters, the Ashtar Command Night, everybody. Moon and Star, we welcome you here to the program. Okay. A lot of great questions, a lot of good questions in the comment section. Truth Girl, good to see you. If you wish to come up, anybody, you can come up with a question. Elegant Beauty, let me see. You have enough followers to do this? Let me see here. No, Elegant Beauty, you only have one follower. Now you have two. So Elegant Beauty, what's your question? Maria, I think it's Marina Galaxy. Does your Earth family know about your space family? We're going to bring you up there. Marina Galaxy, come on to the queue on your TikTok. You can come up on live here with me, and I'll be happy to have a wonderful nice interaction with you on audio. And Marina is asking, does your Earth family know about your space family? And the answer is absolutely yes. My wife knows. My daughter knows about my space family. I told them less than 3 years ago when it started happening. So yeah, they do know. Great question. And everybody follow that person has only one follower. I think it's Elegant Beauty. Everyone follow Elegant Beauty. I'm going to pin her comment up. She had me as the second follower. I just want to get her up to enough followers so she can come on live. She's only got like 2 followers, so she's probably relatively new. But great question, Elegant Beauty. I appreciate that. So your radio show, you are doing much anymore? I'm not doing the radio show right now. I'm really more focused on doing the TV program here on TikTok. I might go back to the radio, but I'm more focused on doing the TikTok, which I think is really right now more important. Thank you for the follow, Golden Girl. We appreciate it. If you're not following me on my bio, please follow. That means everybody out there. So there's hundreds of you out there that might not be following you. Some of you already are. So just follow me and follow her. Follow Elegant Beauty. Follow her. You're already following me, but follow her. What am I saying? How did your Earth family feel about your having a space family? They are completely okay with it. My daughter's into the crystals. She totally understands it. My wife understands it. She's also a starseed. But they all understand it. My daughter and my wife. Other than that, I don't tell anybody else in my family about this because they wouldn't understand. But my profile name is CmdrAleon, CmdRAleon at AOL.com. But it's CmdrAleon, just CmdrAleon 2022. And that's right on the top right corner. You'll see a little circular thing with the planet Earth on it. If you press that, you can then go and follow me. Yeah, well, yeah, a lot of people. I used to do the TikTok live on the radio show, but right now I am real focused on doing my TikTok broadcasts. She's new. That's why. She's just a new person. So we want to help that person grow and have more people. So Jerry, if you want to follow us on YouTube and watch all our past programmings, go to my main bio on the top, press the bio link. There's a link to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. Also, press the red button to follow me, and also press my like button too. I'm trying to drink some more of the apple cider. I'm just looking at people's comments here. Duggett, B-Way, Diana Bristol, welcome. Sandra, welcome, Sandra. Q Time 14. Welcome all the new people coming in here. Lisa, Just, and Artie Flores, welcome, Artie. Laura Bates, hey, Laura. Kenny G, welcome. Orion says, the soul can have a past in multiple planets. That's true. From different times, not just one. Very true, Orion. Very true. Let's see here. And we'll be definitely taking more people up. If you wish to join us, you've never joined us, you have a question for me here on Ashtar Command Night, there is a little people icon next to which says hosts. Everyone on TikTok should have that on your TikTok. It's a little 2 people icon, kind of bluish pink, a blue and pink. You just press that, save, and you'll be in the queue to go up live with me. So if you want to ask me any questions instead of just commenting a question, you can come on here. We can have a nice little interaction with you as well. I really love and I enjoy that kind of verbal communications. It's just whatever you want to put time and consciousness into digging deeper. Very true, Orion. Yeah, it definitely is there, Sal. It's on your TikTok. So if I press the button, Sal, and you want to come up, I'm just following you now. I'm going to press, so I'm just going to, you don't have to come up, but I'm going to press this button. If you see something popping up now on your screen, just save it, and then you'll be coming up live on my show. Just to let you know how it works. But there usually is an icon there where you can join. Let's see here. Matt Reckman, welcome everybody to the show. Leaf Canada. Hey, Leaf. Yeah, so yeah, you can come up. Yeah, so I think it's, let's see what we got here. Yeah, I'm going to see here. So Chef, I think it's Shari YFD, Dean. If you'd like to come up, if you press the guest icon and you have some questions, I think you do, regarding Ashtar Command, please, we can interact as well, just on words. So yeah, I am with the Ashtar Command. And for people that are wondering what that is the highest level of the galactic levels of every single level. The Ashtar Command represents every single galactic level beyond Earth. So they are the integration of all the star beings, all the star people who come from many multi-dimensional realities of existence. So on Earth, we think of things in a single dimensional framework. Not everybody here, but billions of people do work in that singular framework. When you speak of Mika, thank you. When you think of this, look at it from an expansive perspective that we have, excuse me, we have a, excuse me again, I almost lost my voice to a cat voice. We have a multi-dimensional reality. The multi-dimensional reality is the reality beyond our own existence. That means that there's more than one reality, okay? Just like there's parallel dimensions and so forth. If we were to be able to understand everything in the multiverse that exists, we'd be like a supercomputer. But we are going to at least wake up to the existence of different planetary systems, different solar systems with life on it, different galaxies that live in peace and harmony. That's the first step. What we're doing now is going into the first galactic step of understanding. When we have contact, brothers and sisters, that's going to be the liberation of our consciousness. Once we have mass contact on this planet, mass consciousness is going to shift. You're going to look at the old consciousness and say, wow, I was like that. And then you're going to see mass consciousness awaken. You're going to be in a different plane of existence. Completely different. You know, awareness is saying, I'm really feeling this live tonight. Beautiful. And you're all, no matter what, don't feel like you're not, good enough because you're not at that same level. You're not at that conscious state yet. The fact that you're watching this show on tonight means that your consciousness is awake. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't. So if you're new and say, what's that show about on TikTok? You're now at the right place. You're being guided here for a reason. You're guided here because we're talking about what's going to happen. We're talking about the cosmic you. The cosmic you is way more exciting, not to me, and the earth you is exciting too because you have the earth experience, but what about the cosmic you? What is the cosmic you? That's the you that is the elevated you. That's the you that is the awakened you. That's the you that is the light you. That is the you that sees all things beyond this particular reality. That's the you that has no limitation of consciousness. That's the you that understands who you are. When you understand who you truly are, you are liberated. You are consciously awake. Okay? Not yet. They will be. Not yet. They will become available when contact happens. Great question. April. Yeah, April says, I'm sad that my boyfriend's not at my level, not here with me, not who I thought he was. But April, the beautiful thing is, April, your next boyfriend might be somewhere in could be in Japan, Ireland. It could be someone in Sweden. Your cosmic connection is somewhere out there. You'll meet them. They might be on TikTok, but you'll meet them. So it's okay to be emotionally sad for your boyfriend. I mean that why not? You have to be who you are, right? Maybe someday they'll awaken, you know. But the fact that you can't go backwards because you're now going forwards. If they're not where you're at and they can't connect with you that way, you know, there are many cosmic fish in the sea, so to speak. So that next boyfriend, and you're going to have probably a beautiful experience, whoever they are. They're going to be probably a person that we're looking for, someone like you that is that awakened person, that gatekeeper, that awakened soul. So yeah, it's okay to be sad, but you have so many possibilities out there for relationships with someone who's at that level. I'm sure you'll find it. Cassie, good to see you. Have a good sleep. Be well. Let's see. Let's see here. We have Stallion saying, "What should one do to wake up their cosmic connection?" Great question. Stallion, I'm going to invite you up here to ask that question. I mean, certainly willing to answer the question by your comment. But if you want to come up, press the save button, and we'll bring you up here. If you see a guest request, bring you up here. But I would say to you is meditation. Do like 20 minutes of meditation, probably before you go to sleep or in the morning or when you go to sleep. Depends, whatever you want to do. Listen to higher vibrational ambient meditation music and just go within and say, I wish to connect with my cosmic consciousness. I wish to connect with my cosmic consciousness. And what you're doing is that is connecting with your higher self. Your higher self is the one that connects with your cosmic consciousness. Your brain doesn't do that. Okay. Your brain doesn't do that, but you can do that. You can actually wake up to that consciousness. Zanita A. Valdez, good to see you. Welcome, Zanita. Elegant Beauty, I've always known that there was more to me, and there is. My mother said there was something about me before she passed. You know, I can't wait. I'd love to interview you when you have more. You know, she has 20 followers now. Let's see here. So she has 20. We need to get her up to at least about 50, I think it is, or 100. So everyone follow Elegant Beauty if you're not following her. Half Pint, take care. Say hello to your Anunnaki brothers and sisters. Lisa Pritchard, good evening. And Adam A says, I used to be able to lucid dream when I was a kid, when I was little. Adam, I believe you can do it again. I think, as I was saying to one other person, spend 20 minutes before going to sleep to focus, have your intent, not just to lucid dream, but have the intent as to what you're connecting with. So if you want to connect with your star family, you could just make that intent through meditation. And if you do that and practice that, I think you can activate that memory to do that. Oh, okay. Okay, Stalin. Yeah, definitely. We're here 11 o'clock on the East Coast in Connecticut, 4 a.m. if you're in Europe, like in Scotland or in England or one of those countries, 3 a.m. if you're in Australia or New Zealand. Cody says, how would you use your hands to bend reality? Well, I've never tried to use my hands. It's a great question. I'm going to honestly tell you, I don't know. I'm not saying there's nobody out there that doesn't do that. But reality, if you want to change your reality, it's through meditation. It's not so much the hands, it's your consciousness. So if you want to bend reality and change reality, you have to meditate. And you have to go within before the meditation and say, I wish to transform my own reality to a cosmic reality. So that's really one of you. You want to go from Earth reality to what I call a cosmic reality, a cosmic Christed reality. And if you do that, that's, I've not known of people using their hands to bend reality. It's usually the consciousness. You want to transform your reality, Cody, which is, I think, really much more important. I remember floating in space, seeing beautiful places. Anime, I can relate to that. When I was a kid, I remember going on my body as a kid and flying above the cul-de-sac on a clear blue sky. It was like just flying around in the sky and then coming back into my body. I completely remember that. And so, well, how could I do this? I was like, I'd have my hands out, my arms out, and I'd be flying over my house. And then it's funny you should bring that up because when you mentioned that, now I'm remembering I used to do that for a while when I was a kid. I just like fly freely over the house, like I can just fly anywhere I wanted in my physical body. You know, so I can relate to the floating in space. Probably you were not floating, you were in a Merkaba state. You left your physical body when you were sleeping, went into anime a Merkaba state. Orion, so let's see, we'll bring Orion up here. Orion, we're going to bring you up as a guest and see if Orion wants to come up. Please press the save button or accept button there, Orion. Good. Orion's coming up. Great. I like the icon too. Orion, welcome to the show.
Hi.
And Orion, whereabouts are you? That's a great question. Where are you located?
Texas.
Oh, Texas. Okay. Can I bring you on camera or is that impossible?
I'm in the dark right now.
Oh, no worries. No worries. So the goals of the Ashtar Command and for this planet and in general is to, for us, let's say specifically for Earth right now, is to make contact. They are going to make contact. Are you familiar with the Ashtar Command or what they are?
I'm more familiar with the Galactic Federation and the Galactic Federation of Light. I know those are like two different ones.
Okay. So
I
there's
don't know
no
much
real,
about that actually.
yeah. So there's no real on Earth-based media like Facebook and all these places. People talk about galactic this and galactic that. The Ashtar
Yeah.
Command really oversees all those different groups, all the councils. They are the unlike Earth-based government, they are the highest level of consciousness of everything. They actually operate with all the galactic levels of light. So I know about the galactic federations and this and that. They really, in a way, don't exist so much as they are all part of the space beings, and those different groupings are connected with Ashtar Command. They all are. And so there's really one thing not to confuse people is to just educate people, which we do on Saturday nights, is that when contact happens, it's not going to be different groupings. It's all part of one galactic group, which is called Ashtar Command, or the word I would use also is Ashtar Galactic Command. So people have heard it as Ashtar Galactic, Ashtar Command, same thing, just semantics. And they're all men and women and other light beings that come from planetary systems that live in complete harmony and peace. They're planets that are not like ours. And some of these space people that you mentioned, the galactic, we'll just use the word galactic, they live in our inner Earth. They live in the Agartha network. So we have space people that have lived here for billions of years below our planet, inside our Earth and our oceans. And now we have many coming from the stars. So yeah, Ashtar Command. It's all integrated in a very, very peaceful way. The way they live is more vegetarian. They don't eat meat or things like that. They can create things that look like something like a hamburger, but it's not a hamburger. It's actually a vegetable. But they can make it taste like it, but you won't be eating a hamburger. So they can acclimate a human being when they make first contact to the vegetarian foods that they eat on their own planets. And they're just beautiful beings. When I say beings, they're about anywhere from 7 to 10 feet tall, depending what planetary system they come from.
Oh, okay.
Does that help any in terms of your question?
Yeah, a little bit. But I know that some of the like the beings in the Galactic Federation or whatever, they all have like their own motives, and
And what
I'm
now? I'm
sh-
sorry, your audio's not too loud. I got to bring it up here.
oh, I know that like every like group has like its own different motives for why they do things, and
Well, they
I
do
just saw them
have
on this one.
different motives. I mean, depending on what's happening. So let's say, for example, if someone says they're channeling the Galactic Federation, one of the things you're going to learn about me is I don't go by any of these channelings, whether it be on Facebook or TikTok. I've seen on Facebook too many rampant channelings that say they're this, and it's really the higher self of these people that are speaking. And so I'm just saying for people in general, and I'm glad you're mentioning this, is try to not go through channeling. If you are, I'm not saying you are, but if people are getting information from channeling and they're saying they're the galactic something that's doing whatever they're doing, again, understand these people are most likely communicating with a higher aspect of self. Whereas for me, I'm telepathic. I communicate with my space family pretty much constantly. So I don't channel anything. So you're going to get my information I give you on Saturday nights, and I love the questions will be real answers. I'm not going to say I got the information from so and so's website. Their name is. I don't do that. So when I answer your questions, I'm automatically able to respond in a beautiful way and have that interaction with you the way I'm having it right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I just know that like some of those groups, they're not really like trustworthy because they're like a different state of mind than whatever humans have.
Yeah. So people, let's say the people that are channeling those groups, and this is really for everybody to understand that they're channeling their higher self. They're not necessarily channeling any group specifically. All they would say to me, Commander, I am. They defend themselves to the rest of their years on planet Earth, but they're really doing higher self. So their perception of reality is they created that higher self consciousness of this particular galactic group, and they go with it. And really, they do have a good consciousness. It's just that people on, I use Facebook because I've been on there for years. Too many people channeling the same beings or galactic groups, and they all have different information just because they're channeling themselves. Um, when one is communicating with the actual space people, you'll know it. The information
Yeah.
will be consistent. It won't be different. It'll be consistent. The Ashtar Command, the information is consistent for me because I don't channel it. My friend up in Vermont, Friends with Fairies, I met her on here 3 years ago. She's near the Canadian border. She goes on physical Ashtar command ships hundreds and hundreds of times, almost every other night. And we're part of a group of 5 that'll be going off planet before direct contact happens. I'm one of them. I'm going to physically go off planet onto a spaceship. I haven't talked about that tonight, but it's part of what's really going on versus people that are channeling these different groups. That could really mess people up and confuse them. So I'm glad you're here. This is a great place for you to be. We're usually here every night at 11. We do our regular show here from Connecticut, and we're on 10 Central and so forth and so on. But great questions.
Yeah, and I noticed that a lot of those like so-called channelers, they always do it from a place of ego with what they perceive as like the highest light or whatever, but they always do it
Mm-hmm.
for like egotistical and like to make money basically, and
Yeah,
then they
and
sell
they're
all these
doing
services and it's
Yeah, they
horrible.
sell the services, and they're doing it from a third. They're not. They're doing it from the ego perception of reality. Many of them, I won't say all of them, but many of the channels that I've seen are coming from an egoic state. They
Yeah,
are.
it's
They're
like they detach from their ego just to perceive itself in
yeah,
a weird way.
and they'll try to. Some of them will go as far as trying to be saying if you don't follow my complete channelings, you're not getting the information, which is sort of saying like if they were totally enlightened, they wouldn't say that. They wouldn't say
Yeah,
you need to follow my channelings and you need to pay for my seminars that are $1,000 in order to get the information. Now there are people that are well known in the world channeling that do that. I don't believe in any of that. I believe the things I do here, and my space family would not be happy if I ever did it. I'll never do it. Is to provide the information for free, and that's what I'm here to do. I do my talk show called Encounters, and then tonight we do Saturday nights Astro Command night to give people information, to answer your questions, and to do it freely. Um, I do get gifts, which is part of the TikTok experience. The TikTok gifts help me do the general work I do because I've committed to the work, but without ego. I do what I do here to bust the matrix and to help people. So yeah, you're right. Absolutely true.
Mhm.
I'm literally glad you're here. You can see my background is really kind of spacey tonight. Normally I have the green screen up, but tonight I don't. Saturday nights I just get us into a very relaxed space consciousness kind of way.
Oh.
Yeah. Any other questions you have, Ryan? You've got some good stuff going here.
Okay, and so the what like what is the going off world thing gonna be like? Like what have you been
Oh,
told? Or
so the off-world thing is, and this is really important, and your question is good because I think a lot of people out here have that same question, but you're the one answering it. I mean, asking it. So this year, starting last year, 3 years ago, when I got on here, I knew this before I got on TikTok that a number of years later we were going to have physical contact, and I was getting, even before I came on here to TikTok, I was getting 2026, 27, 2026, 27, but the timeline has shifted, and so contact is starting to happen individually with people. Right now, there are people all over the world, individuals that are having contact with their space family. But there's still, that's not mass contact. That's just the gradual beginnings for those that are ready. Mass contact is from a divine timing 2026. Now, does it go back to 2027? Maybe. But 2026 is the year that we're supposed to have full contact on planet Earth. And I'm not channeling the information. This is just telepathically something I know. I felt it in my energy field for a long time. So we're looking at 2026. Now, some people think it's going to be sooner. They could decide to, based on what we're doing on our planet to our planet, they might interact sooner because they don't like the way we do things on our planet to each other. So that could be something that happens way sooner than later. It's going to be really up to them what they decide to do.
okay, and so all the people that are going like off planet, like have they all been picked already? Like
What was the question about the off planet? I'm sorry.
have all the people that are going off planet, like are they all like picked so far?
Yeah, the people that are going off planet are ready for it. These folks, whether they're in Russia, whether they're on a small island in the Pacific or in the Scandinavian countries or wherever, those individuals are ready. They are being contacted now because they're supposed to be. They have a specific mission that they're being, and they're probably physically going on, though, they're going physically on the ship. Physically, they're not dreaming about it, they're physically going. Now, I don't know the numbers of people, to be honest with you, but I do know there's, now when you figure millions and millions of people out of billions around the world are awake on some level of this subject, some of those millions and millions are being taken off planet. Uh, they're invited to go off planet and they're meeting their star family, wherever that star family is from, whatever planet, whatever solar system or galaxy, they are now meeting them. Now, on a mass scale, the mass contact is really important because that's going to happen for all of us once we get to supposedly around 2026. Again, it's all our perception of real. If we project that level of consciousness of peace, love, and understanding, if we project that consciousness, then we'll be ready to have the contact. It only can happen if we make it happen. So it's really important now we don't just wait for our space family to contact us. We have to show them that we are ready. That means we have to live in harmony with our planet, live in peace with each other, and we have to show them that we are ready. They're going to be still here, but they want to make sure that we are not going to go backwards and that we're going to move forwards in our consciousness. That's the real most important thing we can do. Crafter, thank you for the roses. Thank you for the heart. Thank you for all that friendship. Yeah. So yeah, great questions. Any other questions you might have, Orion?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so the races, like in the Ashtar command, like what are the main races that have like the most like pull or
Well,
connection?
there's not really any main race. There's just every single galactic civilization of peace are all involved. It's a collective thing. No one race of space people is better than the other. They're all equally at that same Christ conscious reality. So they all work together. There's no like one specific race. See, on Earth,
Mhm.
we when we're taught about the subject, we're talking about races of beings and which one's better than the other or higher than the other. When you're dealing with Christed conscious space beings, they don't have like an ego system where our space race is better than the other one in the Ashtar Command. They all work equally. They all operate in the same Christ consciousness. They all live in harmony with the universe. So there is no like better. On Earth, we have structures of living, like we have governments, so you have a Congress, a Senate, a president, a prime minister, whatever. Everything is like egotistically set up in structures. There is no structure in space. They don't live that way.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get it.
yeah, yeah. Totally different than the way we live. We have separated everything on our planet, including countries, people. Everything is separated, religions, parties, whatever. But in space, there are no parties, religions, or anything. Everybody lives in harmony and equalness beyond Earth. They all do. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. And DB52. So our bodies, when we leave our bodies, I'm answering this person's question. Let me explain something. The human body, when you leave your physical human body as a star seed, as a person that is awakened, you now leave your body. You go back into your space body. Now, for those again who are new here, the body is in stasis. Your space body's on a spaceship. Whether you can perceive this reality or not, it's okay. Your space body is in a spaceship. It's alive and well. It's breathing. It's existing. You might be 7 or 8 feet tall. Maybe you're 9 feet tall, man and woman. You leave your physical body and you now go back into that body in stasis on the spaceship. You now decide to wake up. When you wake up in your space body, everybody, you will now see yourself as being taller, a man or woman, very beautiful, and you'll be fully awakened. You'll be fully conscious. You know, on Facebook, Karen, you'll find my groups of Ashtar Command. I have an Ashtar Command group, Ashtar Galactic Command group on Facebook. If you'll come to groups there, I do get on there once in a while. I check in with my groups, but I'm on here mostly. And any other questions, Ryan?
Yeah, I kind of have a question about the bodies. So is it like the astral body?
Yes. So when you go off planet, we all do. We all go off planet at some point. When we go to sleep, we actually leave our bodies. Everybody does. Maybe some people don't, but you leave your body. So some people call it astral projecting into space. Essentially, there's a thing called the Merkaba state. The Merkaba, now we'll get into kind of semantics of the word Merkaba and astral travel off planet. So you really, when you travel off planet, you create a Merkaba space. You astral travel your body. Your body's physically, your heart's working well. You're breathing. Your whole body's working while you're sleeping. But you're taking out of your body into a Merkaba state, and you are actually you could be traveling to a spaceship with your cosmic family. You could be going in the Merkaba state traveling to your home planet. You might not remember any of it, but you do, as you call astral traveling, specifically the one that's the astral traveling off planet to a very specific cosmic state of consciousness. You're probably visiting your star family. We call that also the Merkaba state. So if people study the Merkaba state, the Merkaba is the living ship. So your body becomes the astral plane, or you're leaving your physical body. You create the Merkaba in order to travel. You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
Good, 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 good.
I'm like me personally. I'm like constantly in astral, basically.
Okay.
Like
Hmm.
like my perception's kind of shifted where I have to like if I just choose to see through astral, like I'll see that I'm like actively doing things in another place
Yeah, yeah.
and
And
so
that
on.
actually is it's just semantics. You're basically in your Merkaba state. So when you travel in what you call astral, do you see stars and planets?
No, I see basically like Olympus basically because that's usually where I am at.
Okay.
Like
So
I see like the
when you
deities
say
and
Olympus,
whatever.
where's Olympus in your consciousness? Where do you think that is?
It's sort of like in what's it's like a mythical realm basically. Like
Hmm.
whatever
Is it?
like I see from
Yeah.
mythology, like I'll see the deities or something, and
Yeah.
just like a bunch of gods and like their devotees or their people that
Mhm.
worship them or work with them. Like that's
Yeah.
usually what I'll see there.
Yeah. So you have the ability to go into your Merkaba state too. So I think that's pretty cool. So what I want you to do tonight, I always like to give a little cosmic homework to my guests. And we're now friends. I'm following you, so that's great to be friends. And I want you to test this. Since you have the ability to go off out of your physical state in the astral body, I want you to focus on this aspect of yourself and just say to yourself, I am now ready. I am a Christed cosmic being in human form. Instead of going astral traveling, I want to go into my Merkaba state, and I wish to connect with my star family off planet. I want you to practice this for a few nights, and it doesn't mean it's going to happen right away, but if you practice it, I do know because you're able to go astral traveling that you'll be able to do the Merkaba thing. You have the ability to astral travel. You have the ability to go to the Merkaba state, and you can actually connect with your star family. I don't know who your star family is, but you do have one. And that's why the Merkaba state is the living ship. When you practice doing this, take 20 minutes of time tonight and every night until you get it. You're going to ask yourself, I wish to now travel in and create a. You're going to tell yourself, I'm going to create a Merkaba. I want to not go in astral travel. I want to create a Merkaba, and I want to travel in my Merkaba state to connect with my cosmic Christed star family. If you do that, practice it, keep a journal, and let me know what happens. You'll be able to do it. You have that ability right now.
Oh yeah. Okay. So the body vibrations. Um,
Yeah.
is that part of the Merkaba state?
Yeah, the vibration is the key thing. If you operate and tell yourself, I want to now, before I leave planet, I want to now travel off planet to wherever I came from, off planet to my cosmic Christed family. And if you do that, and then you say, I now will create a Merkaba state, you control the body. You're like, your body becomes a spaceship. It won't be as big as like a big ship, but it will be big enough for you to create a spaceship. You'll be able to breathe and travel off planet. You'll create a physical solid form, and that's called the Merkaba state.
Oh, okay. Okay. So my astral body or whatever it's like, about 2 stories tall, like that I've noticed. Like every like other like astral body, like another person, like when I meet them, they're always like down to like waist height or
Yeah.
something. So
Oh yeah, your Merkaba state. When you go in the true Merkaba state, you can create that Merkaba state of consciousness as big as you want. The space people, the Ashtar Command people, when you see the big ships, the living ships, they collectively create a ship in the Merkaba state. When you're on that ship, it has a control center. They have food on the ship. They have everything. They are so advanced that they can create a spaceship out of consciousness. Unlike on Earth, we create everything with nuts and bolts and wires and diodes and so forth, and we think we're the most, advanced civilization since sliced bread. But basically, as one person, you can create any size Merkaba state ship you want. There's no limitation, although you don't really need it. You can create it as big as you wish to.
yeah, yeah. Um,
All right. Well, Ryan, I want to thank you, man, for being up here. Great questions. I am following you, and I'm glad you're here.
all right. Thank you.
All right, everybody, Orion. I want to thank Orion. We're now friends with Orion. Had some great questions. This is what the show's about, you know. Steph, we're gonna bring Steph up. Let's see here. Oh, maybe not. If you wish to do like Orion did and come up and ask some questions, it's going to be about 1:44 in the morning. I think it's time to wind down the show a little bit. Oh, Elegant Beauty. Elegant Beauty. Let me see if I can bring Elegant Beauty up. Elegant Beauty, try to come up now. I think we have enough followers. Press the save button if you're seeing anything. Elegant Beauty. We're not doing videos tonight, but tomorrow night we will hopefully show some new footage. I'm going to bring Mike up. Mike, great question. Mike, if you'll come up in the multi-guest option, we can bring you up here. There's no money in, just to answer your question in case you can't come up. There's no money in from where the Ashtar command levels are. They don't have money. It doesn't exist. I think I got Mike in here. Oh, yeah, here we go. We're going to bring Mike on the show, and now we're going to follow Mike as a new friend of the show. Let's see, am I following Mike? I can't follow Mike. He's got his thing on privacy. Anyway, Mike, welcome to Encounters, Astro Command Night.
Hey, how you doing?
We're doing good. I'm glad to meet you, brother. And great question about the money thing. So go ahead. Let's talk about that whole question.
So, it's coming from a place of kind of despair right now, but I've kind of let it go. I talked to you the other night about like the spiritual awakening that was kind of forced, and I dealt with like a lot of trauma, and some I can't really say on here because it's pretty deep. Like, if you were
you
willing
gotta
to
be
reach out to me
careful.
sometime through like private message or something, I'll tell you some of
Yeah.
it. But so basically now I'm homeless. I'm living in my truck with my two cats back there. You can see them.
Oh, wow. I got a cat too that looks like that same color.
I got a
Ragdoll. I love
21-year-old
cats.
back there and a 3-year-old. You can't see the
Wow.
21-year-old. He's a little
Pretty cool.
black one back there. But I've never felt freer. Like I just feel like I'm getting smarter because I'm not tied to the system right now whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like I'm working part-time and just getting by. And I was thinking to myself today, I'm like, if I didn't have my cats, which is not an option, I would just live in this truck forever and just go to the gym and then just keep getting, higher consciousness and educating myself.
Yeah.
It's really strange. So I'm just wondering, like, what happens during the time of full contact? Is all the money the government's taken from us? Do they say, "Hey, give it back"?
We don't need it. We won't need any of it because when green beans, there's not going to be a need for it. I've been consciously for years, even though I work in I have a regular job and everything or whatever. Right. I know what that feels like to be subservient to that kind of thing. But at the same token, I keep crystals at my desk at work in my cubicle, and I don't let anything bother me when I'm talking to customers. I say, if that person's having bad energy and getting it on me, I basically put a protection around myself. And I also know that when contact happens based on your question, they're going to make sure that it happens. And it's going to be a gradual education to get away from where we've been as a planet, needing what we call money and material things to where we won't need those things. They're going to show us how their planets live in harmony in the universe, how their homes and structures are advanced and they live in a very beautiful environment and they are not eating the things that we know. I granted I'm not a vegetarian, but I eat things I like, but right. They will teach, they can create a hamburger to look like a hamburger on a bun, and it could be a fruit or a vegetable, but they have the ability to create things that look like things that we're used to, but they're not actually physical meat or chicken or whatever. It's going to be simply a vegetable that looks like it.
Wow. So it's not, I was always like brainstorming and thinking like, I was like, there's got to be places out there that has like a barter system, an honor system where if I wanted to walk into Walmart right now, I could just go and get what I needed for a week and it would be produced out of goodwill. And then everybody else in unison would produce a certain product out of goodwill.
Right.
But obviously humans, if you do that, like COVID, everybody went and took 80,000 pounds of toilet paper and left none for nobody. It just,
it was crazy.
It just baffled me.
It baffles me too, because how many people need 80,000 pounds of, toilet paper?
They probably sold it on eBay.
Yeah. And this is the thing. That's the billions of people on earth that were freaked out by things that were stated. And instead of like people just taking a deep breath and saying, okay, one for me, one for you, one for the other person, that would be the quality of earth humans sharing everything together, sharing food. When I lived in Vermont, I visited some communes, and they were beautiful people. And I went to my college was like a commune, even though I had to pay to go to college. It was way cheaper than it is now. And I just like we all lived in a very beautiful way with each other. And I guess that part of my Earth existence, having that experience in Vermont, made me understand that how come the world doesn't live like this? How come the world doesn't share things? Why do we have to have big homes and 2-car garages and all these things? This is the existence we've had, but excuse me. But when contact happens, to your question, I think, Mike, it's going to be a gradual education for people. They're not going to freak people out. They want to make sure we're comfortable with the transition from the old Earth. And when we talk about going to a new Earth, people say, where's the new Earth? This planet, believe it or not, will be our new Earth. We're not going to run away from planet Earth. We're here to be here to experience the changes and to be part of that beautiful transformation. And I think it's really important that we never run away from anything. We face it, we look at it, and then what they're going to teach us is that we will have things like med beds. We'll have ways of living in more harmonious relationships. Our homes will be different. They won't be the way they are now. We won't have all these old structures of control. They're going to essentially eventually fade away.
That's why it started. I mean, I'm 41 now, and I mean, I've done the work thing forever and just clawed and scraped. And it's strange to say, I mean, not to get into money figures, but because I live a really basic life. I'm very, just to myself. I don't like to go out, and I'm not around drama. I go to the gym, try and work on my physical health and stuff, and play video games and hang out with my cats and just kind of just do my own thing. And I wasn't making a lot of money, but I was still living comfortably, and I didn't feel free. And now everybody's like, are you okay? And my friends, thank God, they're so nice. They're worried. They're like, hey, how are you doing out there? It's been 6 days now. And I'm like, I'm doing better than ever. And they're like,
you're
what
free.
are you on? And I'm like, nothing. I'm free. I don't have the stress of all these bill collectors.
No stress.
It's so strange. And I'm not lazy or nothing by any means.
That's different. Being free and being lazy are different things. You freed yourself from a system on Earth, and now you can see it in your face that you feel happy and you're free with your cats. That's all you need,
Yeah.
You don't have
to
follow
anybody.
And it's sad,
too. I've always been under the impression that the government's bad, obviously, but I've always been kind of independent, but just slightly right-leaning. But now I'm to the point where I've realized it's all fabricated division to keep everybody arguing against each other.
That's right.
And everybody's like, well, Musk is, eliminating government waste. And I said, well, the government waste is coming from their side too. It's all just, it's all by design to get people.
It's all 3D. It's all. I thought I heard something. Okay, never mind. Weird things do happen.
But it flip-flops. It's like every election, and they just give some things back and then take some things away, and everybody starts arguing on the opposite things. And I'm just like, my algorithm has completely changed. I won't even engage on politics anymore on this. So it's usually just spiritual
we'll
stuff.
Get into it. But someone's saying, Danielle says she heard a voice. I heard some. I mean, everybody. They're saying you heard a woman's voice.
Going on over there.
It's probably a space woman. More like a faint scream. I did too. Hold on a second.
Too busy yapping with my big mouth.
No, you're good. Install, heard, and source something. Lizzie, I know all about space women. Yeah, so that's why I was turning for a minute. When I turned my head, my cat is somewhere. I think she's sleeping somewhere. Anyway, I'm not going to get too defocused here.
No, that's
it took me. I was totally taken. I was listening to you, and then I heard a voice.
No, I seen you jump, and it freaked me out a little bit. And I was like,
"No, it's okay. I have a cat."
It wasn't a cat, though. Okay.
No, I don't know who it was, but they spoke for just a minute.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm just like, go ahead.
I was seeing. I sent you those pictures I was talking about the other night. My emails, Emery Della. They're strange looking ones. I know you said tomorrow night you bring up photos and stuff, but I would love for you because you know more about this stuff than me. Of all the things I've seen, I haven't seen anything quite like the square ones. It's almost like they look like doors, which is really strange. And I
can't wait to look at those. Someone else showed me photos and a video of a door to a spaceship that was radiating light. And when I look at your photos, I'll be able to see if that's similar to this other person's.
There's one that's kind of radiating light, but I can't see nothing around it. And there's a little dark hole in the middle of the light of the square. And I'm like, is that can I just jump through, please? Because I would go.
Yeah, you probably could. Once you figure out, I think one of the things when you have like a door, I have like at least 5 or 6 people that don't know each other that sent me videos of this doorway opening on a spaceship that was partly cloaked. And that's an invitation, but you have to know what you're doing. First of all, you want to ask them, who are you? Are you Christed beings of light? You want to ask questions. And once you know it, but if you feel comfortable with the energy and you feel, wow, this is really cool, really vibrating high energy, but you still should ask the question, who are they? Who are you?
Right. I wanted to ask you too, what was the saying specifically? Because when I had the awakening, obviously I heard tons of voices. And they were female, male. And it was overwhelming at first, and I started to calm down, and then I started freaking out again. And I'm like screaming, I hear you, and then they all stopped. I don't know if I scared them because I freaked out.
Maybe, I don't know. But you know what? If you just take the time for like 20 minutes before, do constant meditations for about 20 minutes, Mike, just allow yourself to listen to like ambient space music. I always talk about the deep breaths within, and then, just getting into that state of consciousness, like just.
It's through the nose, right?
Through the nose, yeah. Breathe in. Through the nose, just like when you go to the gym and exercise. Mouth breather. So when you do that, Mike, you'll be able to, as you practice it, just like you go to the gym and do a treadmill or whatever, this is a mental exercise of allowing your consciousness to expand, to ask those questions. I wish to connect with my Christed cosmic star family. It's my cat. Hello there. Hello there, kitty. Are you here for a little bit? Would you like to come on the camera?
You guys are not amused right now at all.
Would you like to come on the camera? Let me see if I can bring it up on camera, folks. You want to see my cat?
Sushi might. Sushi's looking kind of. I don't know. If he sees another cat, he might come up here. Come on, Titi.
I got her. I got my cat. I can't believe this. Let me see here. Hold on a minute.
Come on, Titi.
Yeah, here you are. Here's my cat. There you go. See Missy. Here she is.
Look, Sushi. He's looking right at your cat.
Hello, people of Earth. My name is Missy. I'm also from Earth Planet. I chose this family to be here. My name is Missy. I'm on Ashtar Command Night. I'm an Ashtar cat. I'm an Ashtar cat. I am. I'm an Ashtar cat. See? I'm looking right at you. I'm translating.
How old?
She's about 12 years old.
12? Oh, wow, yeah. I adopted Spooky was 11 when I got him, and he's 21 now. For 10 years I've had him.
She's a rag doll.
Oh, nice.
I'm really surprised she let me pick her up.
She looks like she's enjoying it.
Do you want to say something to the people here? I have a message for people of Earth. Don't go to sleep now. If you're on TikTok, why are you going away from my channel? Come back. My name is Missy. I'm looking right at all of you. I'm not a ventriloquist. Okay, I'm going to go down. You want to go down? Okay, look. Okay, good girl.
So one thing too, this kind of gets off a little bit, but have we all started out as lower, like animals and stuff?
No.
Because there's been things where they said we've been like a hyena, a lion, and a tiger, and worked our way. Okay.
Well, whoever's saying that's misinformation. We always.
I didn't take it literal, but I was like.
Yeah. No, we're actually all from the stars. Okay. So we all have a star family. It takes time for everybody. For a lot of people, it's my show. Excuse me. Everybody has a star family connection, and you do too. And so I say collectively, we all do. But we come back here from off planet to remember who we are, and then we now are having the situation where we remember who she's talking now. We remember who we are, and now we go back onto the ships.
Okay.
So we have that ability too. I think she wants something from me, but I'm not quite sure what it is.
So I'm just assuming I've been here before on this planet and trying to learn, or okay.
Yeah. A lot of times
I feel like I was born into knowing, but I just couldn't figure it out. Like I was just frustrated from the start, and everything was going wrong with my parents and everything, and I'm just like, what is the point of this? And then it's starting to click a little bit, but I'm I tried to astral project the one time, and I just felt pulses of just energy, and then I felt the chest, and I punked out, man. I was about ready to
Yeah.
cry. I was so scared. I'm not even gonna lie. And I got
Yeah.
up and I haven't tried again because people say
Yeah.
you got to be mentally like good to do it.
Well, this is where the meditation comes in. Like I said earlier, I
Right.
think you need to really focus, and I'm a good person to talk to about this. Focus on 20 minutes of meditation when you
Okay.
can. That you're really free. You're totally free. Take the 20 minutes of time to use higher dimensional music. I use Christ conscious ambient music. I just type in Christ conscious ambient music. I
Is there a
turn it
certain
up.
frequency other
It,
than
it, it, I don't remember the frequency numbers, but just put in Christ conscious ambient music,
okay?
and you'll get into that. It'll be a very vibrational pattern, which will allow you, as you say to yourself, that not overbearing your inner voice, but as you say into your inner voice, I wish to connect with my cosmic Christed star family, and that's like saying you or Om, which are two very high vibrational words that people use. That will allow you to do that and be in that state of consciousness. Mistress is saying it's 10 kilohertz, I think. But just type in cosmic Christed ambient, music, and it'll pop up.
Okay, awesome.
All right, man. Well, it's get 2 o'clock in the morning. I think it's time for me to call it a night. I
Yeah,
wish
thank you
I
for
didn't.
staying on to let me talk.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
yeah, absolutely, man. Everybody, Mike, he's now free for 6 days. He's been free, so cool. What you're doing is good. You're actually doing something a lot of people aren't doing. Well, actually, there's a lot of people that are now doing what you're doing. I know one of my friends here. He and his other half of his life, they're basically nomadically traveling all over the place, and they live in their vehicle. They have like a
Yeah.
big, I don't know if it's like an SUV or whatever it is, but they are doing what they're doing, and it works.
It's so crazy. I thought I was gonna start freaking out about it, and then when they told me to leave, I didn't even say. I just picked everything up. I made a little. I got memory foam back there for a bed and blankets. Took my cats, and they're like, "Well, what are you gonna do with your bed and your sectional and stuff?" I said, "Do you want me to put it on the roof?" I said, "Why don't you give it to somebody in need?"
Right.
And then I was like, "You guys have a good day." And they all looked at me. I don't know if they were expecting me to like lash out at them, but the
Yeah.
older me would have probably freaked out and started cussing and stuff. I told them to have a good day, and I wish them luck and stuff. And
I
they were probably
bet
shocked.
what you did is shock them because you're operating the highest level of light. At that point, you were operating not at a human level, but at a spiritual level of light. So you probably will have it'll probably take them days to figure it out, but you were showing them a better way of acting towards each other, which was thank
Yeah,
you
and
very
it's
much.
something I would have never done. It's something I
Yeah,
would have never done
yeah.
before that like forced awakening happened. If that wouldn't have happened, I would have probably been a different person. But nothing bothers me now. It just
No, you're
what am I
free.
gonna? I'm here, and that's it.
And a lot of people here are listening to your story and they're saying, wow, if he can do it, I can do it. And I bet there's some people here, just on your example of doing it, they might have a little camper or something and say, well, I'm going to do that too now. I'm done. I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
So thanks, man, for sharing your lifestyle story,
yeah. And
what's
anybody that
happened,
has
you
questions, feel
know.
free to reach out to me if you just
Yeah.
want to talk. If you're going through something, I have no problems talking to anybody about it. So
Yeah.
that's
That's
for
a good
anybody on
thing.
here.
You can reach them on here, follow them. You can connect with each other and learn about that too. All right,
Yeah.
Mike. Thank you, man. I appreciate
All
you.
right. Thank you. You have a good day tomorrow for St. Patrick's Day too.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can do the Irish thing. Top of the morning to you. Let's see. I'll stop doing that. There you go. I got my Irish going there. So there you go. Beyond my Irish, I want to thank everybody for being here. It's now 2:04 in the morning. I think I need to get some sleep, even though I'm awake. Um, and I want to thank you all for being here. All your questions. Um, very good. So again, Christ conscious ambient music. Christ conscious ambient music. And I think I have to bring Natasha up, and then we'll definitely call it a night. I'll bring one more person up here because she's in the queue.
Hello, Andrew. How
Hey,
are you?
Natasha, how are you doing?
Hold on, let me put my camera on. I'm doing all right. I'm here just cleaning up here. Sorry, I'm gonna sit down. Can you guys see me?
Alrighty. Yes, we can see you well.
Alrighty. I was just listening to the conversation and I wanted to share a little bit of again, thank you. How are you doing? I always love to see you. You're like, you're just
We're
great. No,
doing
seriously,
good.
you're just so amazing. I love the way that you handle everything. It's just, you know, so much stuff is going on right now. Like like I don't know if it's everyone's algorithm or is this okay, this lighting, or is this too much? You guys
Oh, the lighting's fine.
I love Marie Andromedon right now.
I've got my
Anyhow,
space stuff going on here, so there you go.
I mean, what am I thinking? We're both doing the same thing. Hello.
Right.
I mean, online, I mean, well, let me just tell you this. Like, I was listening to the person right before, and I totally identify. I think he was born a year after me, 85. I'm 84, and I definitely can vibe with like the questions he was asking. I think, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if certain generations were programmed like in certain ways. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
The way that I mean, I don't even know if it's possible through like Nintendo or video games, but really strange stuff. Because I mean, they're repeating and doing 80s stuff. And I mean, anyhow, that was one thing. So the other story I wanted to let you know is the drone activity has continued. It looks like I'm wearing like makeup or something. Anyhow, the drone activity has continued. I also have 3 cats. And the other day, I'm with my friend and, well, also business, confidant. And
Right.
again, I don't know how much astrology has to do with things, but I mean, I'm a Cancerian anyway. So my right hand is Jason, our Scorpio in Texas. And then we have our Pisces energy. And I always find that Piscean energy is very like, it's like the plutonium to like the crab energy is like, does its work or whatever. But, but it's very, it's a depth. It adds this like kind of arc perspective to like, it's like sonar. And so anyhow, we're here at this, I want to go sell these classic Nintendo games. And now my mom is like, on my case, kind of how, the person before was speaking, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like typical, not understanding what's up with us, like mentality. It's just like, we're 40 years old. It's like, hello. And so anyway, I just felt like, I'm not going to put this on eBay. I was like, I could just smell it. It's around. Anyway, so I was walking right into a flea market. Every single person. I mean, I know it sounds at this point like pathetic, like, and I apologize. I'm not looking right into your eyes because if I do, I get like, and I'm trying to work on my anxiety. But we ask always like, what sign is somebody? I just want to know. I mean, we sound kind of like the Third Reich of like astrology at this point, which is probably not the point. But it's just, I just want to know. I'm also half Greek. Every single person there was all water signs. What are the odds? Then out of nowhere comes this guy, and I kid you not, here, I'm going to do the walk, like out of nowhere, because I know when something is like done or not, like I can tell. And this guy, he was a Scorpio, here, hold on, let me get this. I got to get the whole thing. Like he comes walking out, and I'm telling you, my buddy, like I'm telling you, literally walking like on his side, like I don't know what's going on, like he just came from Mars or something, like like I don't know why he was walking on his side like that. Very kind of like, I don't know if he was trying to come. It was very strange. All I know is that the drones, how do I say this? Like all the activity was like landing straight into like wooded area. That's what I was seeing. And so like from that direction, like I just didn't understand it. Then the guy came on like, now is it possible? My question to you is this. Is he the alien, like, or the extraterrestrial, or is he attached to an energy once those ships land? Because we noticed that it just, and then he just went to the water. He was supposed to be going home. I mean, I'm like, the things he said were just very.
Were they like beyond human comprehension kind of things, or what kind of things?
No, very simple, very, again, water sign, nature stuff. Okay, like almost like, oh my goodness, like we are just making like a scene of ourselves. Like, not only are we supposed to be like the most emotional, like in a sense, but he was very communicative, very respectful, I will say. I don't know what the point was. I have to say.
Okay, so let me stop you for a moment. So what I'm getting is he went to the water. He was very like regular in that way, and then these so-called D's were coming down into the woods. So I got the story, but I'm rephrasing it so people understand it.
Okay, yeah, I apologize. My explanation is like, I know, I'm so sorry, guys.
He's going to the water. These things that are coming down to the water. So what I'm getting is,
not to the water. There was things ahead, like in front of us, because we're here on the lower part of the ground, and so they're flying side, like like it would be like this, but they're kind of like all these things I'm seeing land. Yeah, hold on a second. So, someone said, I believe she's asking if he was ET. Yes, like yeah, because he did. Yeah, right. Someone just. So
I'm gonna give an answer because it's like 2:09 in the morning, and I'm gonna go to sleep in a minute. But my direct answer to that is. The reason why he was going to that area where this was happening, because he is, if you were to look at him, how tall is he?
Oh, I love it that you're saying this. He was like our height, like 5'7", 5'8".
Okay.
He seemed to be of our family. Like he had like an indigenous nature. Like I'm part. He so is my friend as well, and also being part of a Scorpio too. Just all the things he said.
So he's somebody you already know. He's a friend of yours, correct?
No, my friend was with me,
With
and we
you,
were just
but
like,
but
yeah,
you saw this other person,
yeah, never
and
seen
this
this person.
person never seen them before. So let me give me a second. I'm going to go quickly in my consciousness here.
Mhm.
He's definitely not from here.
Oh boy.
He's not from here. He's definitely not from here. But where you are, is there like an open like area? Like, are there a lot of buildings or houses or where you are?
Well, okay, so I live in New Jersey, obviously. Here we've talked, but see, my place in North Bergen, it's teeming. But over here in Kearney, it's different. It's the kind of activity you get is, I mean, you'll see it. It's less like urban is all I could say. But yeah, there's more
It
space.
more space. It's more of like suburban kind of going towards open space. Suburban open space. Okay. So where you are, there's open space around where you are.
And also
Obviously,
the airport. But I mean, it's so I don't understand how some of these people just don't look up. And I'm like, they can't. I mean, we've seen it in the middle of buildings, like triangles, and what is going on. I mean, I don't get like how some people don't.
right.
But
So
yeah,
let me just put it this way before I go.
sure.
Is that I do feel a sense when he left after you were watching him, he disappeared. He wasn't there anymore. Correct? Am I
Well, he just
correct?
went to the water. Yeah, he was supposed to be going home, and that's it. I mean, it
But
didn't make it.
you both didn't know who he was. So he left your area, and he so supposed to be going home is a very open-ended question. Home is where? See what I'm saying? Home is
Um,
where? Home could be in outer space.
that's so
So what
creepy.
you can see, so it's not creepy. It's that he's going home. Now you
Okay,
guys never met him before. He's going home. He came out of nowhere, and now he's going home. So where he's going is to wherever his home is. I
does that
don't
mean
think it's in New.
physically or?
I don't think it's in New Jersey. I think it's somewhere beyond Earth.
Oh my gosh. But I'm saying, is it physically or is it just his being like, he said he was also traveling with someone that was very tall and that he jokes around with him in time to time. And that he said that he was coming straight out there because he saw what we were doing. And we were just kind of just, in a sense, we were just noticing. And, like my friend and I, like he's indigenous as well. Like, I mean, I'm only part,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the first time he's seen it, and I think he liked it. We were, just dressed in our gear, wearing all black and representing what we were represent, and like, I think he liked it or something. But I mean, I don't know why he went to the
Right.
water. I mean,
He went to the water because his home is not from here. I'm not going to go into it too much more. I need to get some sleep, but
okay, okay,
just as a fun, just take this in and meditate on it. When I say based on what you're telling me, and I reconnect all the words, the being going near the water, there's a space connection. But I'll leave it at that for you to meditate on tonight. All right.
yeah. I guess that's what astral projection is, right? When you're sleeping or something, is that what
Yeah.
that
Well,
is?
astral projection is when you leave your physical body and you actually go into a projected state where you can travel anywhere you want. You choose to travel. You can travel into space in a Merkaba state, which is you create a spaceship in your physical body, which is a living ship. That's the Merkaba state. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
there, Natasha. We're going to let you go for now.
Thanks again. Sorry, I
All
come
right.
in with
Thank
you.
you so much.
All right,
No, we'll have you on again. We
all
appreciate it
right.
there, but
Good night,
I
guys.
probably
All
should
right,
get
love
some
and light.
sleep, everybody.
All righty.
All right,
Bye.
let me bring her down. And I want to say it's now 2:14 in the morning. I might sleep out here in the living room or I might sleep in my bedroom. We'll see. Anyway, everybody, thanks for being here. It's been a great night. You've been watching Ashtar Command Night. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. We'll be on with our show. We're on 11 o'clock Eastern here in the United States, 4 a.m. in Europe, like England or Scotland, 3 a.m. if you're in New Zealand or Australia. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll see you tomorrow night. It's been a great show. This show will be transformed onto my YouTube channel. I want all 344 of you, if you're not following me, go to my main bio up here, up there. Let's see here, up there. My bio is right there on the top corner. Press the follow button. It's a red button. Like when I follow somebody here, press my red button for the follow, everybody. And also press the like button. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a good night. This has been Encounters. and be well.